This podcast is brought to you by the Arte Media Pantheon. Please head to artemedia.org to see all kinds of podcasts from our great friends. And if you would like to start your own podcast, they can provide you with the tools and resources to do so there. So please head to artemedia.org. That's A-R-E-T-E media.org. Little stumble there. Little stumble. Also, we've got a new podcast that they just announced. I because I'm on a podcast currently, I don't remember the name of it, but it's new and it's on the website and you should check it out. It has to do with volunteering across the world.
Oh,
Yeah.
go check that out.
Yeah, go
After
check
this podcast.
after this one, go check that one out. And just go to the website generally. It's a solid website, all kinds of content. Welcome to the Spur of the Moment podcast, everybody. Welcome to a very low-key, low-energy introduction. It's usually really loud. Today I wanted to go in an opposite direction. I'm joined by my svelte co-host. It's the incomparable Jordan, everybody.
I am also here, everybody.
He's here, and I don't know what that was. It sounded German. No one can say. On today's show.
It was Justin. It was my classic, vaguely European accent.
Oh, right, vaguely European. On today's show, we find out in the news segment, does the dog die at the end in Good Boy? We're going to finally find out how long is Third Avatar. Something about Lex Luthor. The Mr. Miracle show, which I'm actually kind of stoked about. Apparently they're making National Treasure 3. Has Been Hotel Season 2 trailer. Nicolas Cage is the dad of Jesus. Is Ice-T leaving Law and Order SVU? And apparently they're making a Simpsons 2. Where to begin, Jordan? And then later, you saw the title. About midweek, the question came up: what even is a zombie? What counts as a zombie? So this was
How
just,
do you define its importance?
how do you define what a zombie is? That wasn't what this started off as, but that's what this became and what it will be later, after the news. And Jordan, I think a good place to start is where we started last week or this week, and that was with news that for some reason they're making a Simpsons movie too.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I don't understand it either. But
The only way it
but
makes any sense to me is if you're using it as a vehicle to either end the Simpsons permanently or end the Simpsons as we know it, and then use it to be like, oh, at the end credit scene we have like a 10-year time jump and they're all different ages, and then
yeah,
you can replace
do
their
a
voice actor.
finale. Do a finale. Do a proper finale. I mean, we've said that for as long as we've been doing that show. We've said it a bunch of times. Do a finale. Do an actual finale. And if you still want to continue the show afterwards and it's individual, because it does really just, it kind of seems like they don't want to do the show and they more just want to do those Disney Plus specials. So like, even if you want to continue the show, but like, yeah, do a finale so that when actors start dying, it doesn't become sad. Like, do
Yeah.
it, give it its like, and to your point of who is this for? The Here's the thing, right? That's what we said when the last one came out. The last one came out at a period where people are like, "Well, no, this is 10 years too late," and the last one was quite good. We quote the last one all the time. A lot of the original Simpsons writers from the original Golden Era came back for it. So
Sure, but even with the first one, the big thing with the first one for me, which once it's pointed out, it kind of just bothers me
Seth
more.
MacFarlane pointed it out. Yeah, it's just a
No. Within the movie itself, it points it out within the first couple minutes where they go to watch the Itchy and Scratchy movie, and Homer is like, "Why would any idiot to pay to watch on the screen what you could watch at home for free?" The
yeah.
Simpsons itself points out the
And,
flaw of a Simpsons movie. Why would you pay to watch The Simpsons on the big screen when it's not doing anything that it wouldn't do on the small screen? It
right.
doesn't it doesn't hit that movie level. So the second one makes even less sense to me because the first one didn't even do it. So what are you going to do with the second one unless you use it as a way to finally end The
The
Simpsons? That's
only
the only way
the only thing
it
you can
makes
do
sense
with a
to me.
movie version of a show is it was what happens a lot of times when you do the movie version of the show is you have to focus, especially when it's an ensemble show, you have to focus on like one character and make the movie about them, and then by consequence that causes all of the other characters to. So that's what happened in the first one. That's more of a Bart movie. That's really what that movie's about. It's more about Bart until the middle of it where it becomes they're running away from the town. What was interesting to me is the announcement was really Homer focused. It was like, oh, he's coming back to the big screen, as in Homer. He's coming back. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. So that gives my theory. I wonder if maybe they're going to kill off Homer.
I mean, see, you say that. My counter argument to that
Or
is
at the very least, it's going to be a
if
Homer movie. Sorry, go
my
ahead.
counter argument to that is um if it's more of a Homer movie, which I could believe, I don't think they would use it to kill off Homer. I think they would use it to kill off Marge, the person that everybody points to as the voice that has most drastically changed and can't do it anymore.
Even though I've seen a lot of videos where people have pointed out like she's not the only one who doesn't sound right anymore. It's
Oh,
just
yeah,
she's a
no,
main character,
she's
so you
just
notice her. You notice her
well,
more.
she's also just she's got one of the more distinct voices, so you
Yeah.
absolutely notice it more. But no, yeah, I mean, I could believe. And I'm gonna go full conspiracy theory here. You know how there was that Halloween special where Marge died?
Yeah, they're feeling it
I
out to see how people would
I
feel
think
about doing
yeah,
it.
genuinely I think that's what they were doing.
I mean, the fact that they had
That's
to come out and
my
like clarify it certainly says something.
that's my conspiracy theory is I think they were using that to soft test it, and then now in the movie, now that they have put the idea out there and it's in people's heads, I think they'll use this movie to get
I'm
rid of
just
that character.
I'm just like, yeah. I mean, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna check it out. Yeah, I'm with you. I was just like,
Especially because
really,
in terms of like what do you do for
really,
the Simpson, that then changes the paradigm quite a bit because then Homer is a single dad. Think
yeah.
of the
But
zany
it's too
scenarios
late.
you could
It's
write
too
for him.
late
Oh,
for
it's
that. It's too
absolutely
late for
too
that.
late. I'm just saying I could see them doing that.
Should have done a soft aging, so a soft time, like instead of having them constantly frozen in time. But to be fair, none of those people, I guarantee you, ever considered a time where that show had been on for 40 years. No one ever thinks about that.
Right? Yeah.
Um,
But that's my theory. I mean, I
so
think they should use it as a series finale, but they won't do that.
so
So
I wanted to pull up here because we have a guessing game here, Jordan. But I wanted to pull it up
47.
first. Okay.
That's my answer. 47.
Uh, okay. Hold on.
Am I right? Is it
It's
47?
not 47.
Damn it. I was so close.
Okay. So Jordan, we finally know the runtime of Avatar 3 Third Avatar. Um, so I thought it'd be
Be-
fun.
before you say anything, can I guess? Is the answer too long? Is the answer too long? It's probably too long.
Well,
It's gonna be too long.
I figured as we ramped up to revealing it, we'd say what the runtimes of the first two movies were, which was the runtime of the first movie is 2 hours and 42 minutes, and then the second one is 3 hours and 10 minutes. So 3 hours and 12 minutes. Is the third one longer than the second one or shorter? Do you think?
I think it's I think it's about the same. I think it's like 310,
You
312.
think it's gonna be as long as the second one, longer than the first one?
Maybe longer than the second one because I could see them leading up to like a big all is lost moment, which then leads into the finale or
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
something.
this is
But
definitely your Empire Strikes Back for sure.
so
Um,
I could see it being like 320 at the longest. I don't see it being much longer than that. God, I hope it's not much longer than that
well,
because
okay.
that's already too long.
This is another case of an article overpromising and underdelivering. It just says that it will be around 3 hours long, which, all right, that could mean anything.
So okay, so too long is the point.
Too long, but like around 3 hours long, that could be 2 hours 40 minutes, which like is not much longer than the first one, which granted is too long. Is it 3 hours? Because that is too long. Is it more than 3 hours? It's like 3 hours 10 minutes is obviously too long. Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing I learned doing this show, folks. You want to know what the perfect movie length is? This is the perfect movie length. I will hear no other answers. It's an hour and 40. Hour and 40 is the perfect movie length. It allows you to get
Maybe.
all of the character beats you want to. There's occasional exceptions where I'm like, okay, this could have been 2 hours. No movie needs to
Yeah,
be 2.5 hours long.
I was gonna say there are occasional times where 2 hours can be okay, but never any longer than that.
Like I will say, I said this about Mean Girls on Haley's podcast, which should be coming out on Wednesday, um, the Mean Girls musical is longer and it serves that story better. So like, but like the perfect length of a movie is an hour and 40 minutes. An hour and 20 is too short. Anything shorter than that is too short. An hour and a half, it depends. But an hour and 40 is the perfect ideal length. It means I can watch more movies in a week. 3 hours is too long.
Except for some kids' movies, which can be shorter.
Yeah, they can be. But, oh yeah. Oh, dang it. I meant to send this to you. Oh, he's not nearly as exciting. So remember how we talked about the absolute Batman? And it's
Yes.
frightening Joker.
Oh, the weird Joker. Yeah. The Joker that's not the Joker.
The Joker that's not the Joker. Yeah. They've released what the absolute Lex Luthor looks like, and not very exciting. No, he's just this is good. When probably this might be a short later, you're probably going to see the image of it. But for Jordan's benefit, because he can't see the image of it and he uses his phone and I can't send it to him. He looks like a man. He's got an orange beard, and
Absolute.
You really need to get Messenger on your tablet so I can send you stuff on
Luthor. I mean, I can go to Facebook on it.
He looks like a man.
Oops.
He's got a ginger beard, and
he kind of looks like what's his name? Seth Rogen's best friend's little brother. That was in 22 Jump Street.
Seth Rogen's best friend's little brother.
Something Franco?
Oh, I can see why you would say that. To me, he looks like. Have you ever seen? You know who Bobby Lee is?
No.
Oh, he's in. He looks like Andrew Santino, who I'm gonna again if I make this into a video, I'll put a side by side. He looks like him, but he's just a regular looking dude with a beard and hair. He doesn't really look all that much like Lex Luthor.
I would have also I also would have taken Rupert Grint.
Yeah. But also, Lex Luthor had hair originally. Him not having hair is like a modern Lex Luthor invention. He traditionally is a redhead. That's very much a thing. The lumberjack look.
Traditionally, yes, it is. But I mean, as we've gone on in time, he's become the bald wonder. He's become he's become the guy who owns Amazon.
Oh, Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, he's become Jeff Bezos.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. My thing is not so much the hair and the beard. It's the lumberjack aesthetic, which makes him look like he's like a farm boy, which kind of flies in the face of what Lex Luthor is. But he looks like he's not a bad guy, which I find to be odd. But that whole absolute Justice League universe is weird. So
I don't really know anything about it, so
the whole thing is everyone's all jacked up and scary. That's kind of the whole thing, which you probably obviously like. Batman's
and then that's probably why they made Lex Luthor look so human looking, is because he's.
I haven't seen Superman. I've only seen Batman, and Batman is like 7 feet tall and like jacked. Like that's the whole thing. It's like he's a monster. It's weird. It's a weird comic book run.
I mean, of any of the superheroes there, he shouldn't look like a monster because he's just a guy. He should look normal.
That's the whole bit. That's part of what it's part of what makes that universe weird. Jordan, I bet you were wondering in regards to that movie Good Boy with the dog. I'm sure you're probably concerned about whether or not the dog will die at the end. Shout out doesthedogdieattheend.com. Most useful website in existence.
I mean, being that I didn't really know, I didn't really think about it until now, but now I have concerns. Does the dog make it?
Jordan, you don't have to worry. The director confirms he does not. He's fine.
He doesn't make it?
No, he doesn't die.
Oh.
The dog doesn't die.
Okay. You had me worried there, Justin. I care about animals more than I do people.
He compared it to like an Indiana Jones movie or a Mission Impossible movie. He said, you're not going to go watch Mission Impossible and expect Tom Cruise to die. And to that I say, some stupid people do. Some stupid people are like, yeah, man, the stakes need to be so high that you constantly question who will die and who will live. And that's just not how media works. Like, there's a lot of stuff where you're like, oh, that's the little girl. The little girl's probably going to be fine. She's probably going to be fine.
Depends on the type of show you're watching. Cough, cough, zombies, cough, cough.
Um,
Cough, cough, cough. The Walking Dead. Cough, cough.
so they keep this. Okay, I'm just gonna keep making fun of this website. So this website constantly, like, I don't want to say reprint stories that they've done before, but like I open okay. So this story is, um, Toy Story 5 gets exciting plot details from Tim Allen, and you're like, okay, it's an interview with Tim Allen. 50-50 shot he says nothing useful or nothing remotely interesting, or pretty much just says exactly what he said before. So Jordan, um, in regards to the story, what do you think Tim Allen said about it? And bonus points if you guess exactly what he's already said about it.
Um,
About the story. What is Tom
that
Hanks
it's
saying it's about?
that it's about a bunch of buzzes, and he gets to play a bunch of buzzes, and it's exciting because he gets to do a bunch of different buzzes. And I bet he doesn't mention the AI at all.
Holy shit, Jordan. You nailed it. That's spot on. Like you even got the there's a bunch of buzzes. That's literally part of this quote. Like I'm not even lying to you. It says, quote, it's such a great story. I can only tell a little bit of it. It's a Jesse story, which we've already talked about. He's already mentioned this already. But Tom and I have to sorry, let's try this again. It's a Jesse story. Tom Hanks and I have to reunite. And there's just the funniest thing because there's a whole bunch of buzzes involved. And there's a reason why there's a whole bunch of me. So there's 100 of me in a separate story, and I'm having so much fun.
Yep.
So he said
Sounds like
pretty
sounds
much
like
exactly what you
sounds
expect Tim Allen to say.
sounds like Tim Allen talking about himself.
Right? Oh, what's that? Tim Allen's talking about himself? Oh goodness. Oh goodness me. Who would have seen it coming? Who would have guessed it? Um I mean,
Me. I would. I
I
did.
still like your thing where you're like, yeah, this is the Jesse trilogy now, and I'm like, you know
That's
what? I'm down with that. I'm down with that interpretation of it, where it's like, yes, the
the
Jesse trilogy.
the Jesse Bonnie
Yeah,
trilogy.
yeah,
That
yeah, yeah. I'm okay with that.
that's how I have to justify it to myself
Yeah,
because it otherwise bothers me.
yeah. So that's a good. Ever since you said that, I was like, you know what? That makes this a bit easier for me. Oddly, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I'm totally down for the. As soon as you said, as much look, okay, as much as I rag on Tim Allen, I still love Buzz Lightyear. So I am really exceptionally stoked for the Army of Buzzes. As soon as they went Army of Buzzes, I was like, I'm in. I
Yeah,
don't care.
I
I can
mean,
give two
no,
shits
yeah,
about the rest of this. I'm in. I'm in for the Army of
I,
Buzzes.
that's not the part which
You
has
got
me rolling
so
my
sidelined in
eyes.
the last one.
The two parts that have me rolling my eyes is yeah, A, Woody, which we've talked to death and we're not going to do again.
No.
But B, it's the AI tablet computer stuff. It just makes me roll my eyes.
I can see.
It's
Yeah,
just
that's
like,
fair. It's a logical story progression, but
oh
like,
yeah, it absolutely makes sense and it's totally logical, but it still makes me roll
yeah.
my
Now you're
eyes.
like, oh yeah, okay. It's Toy Story for
I
Gen
will
Z.
I will say it
Actually,
will
more
be
like Gen
funny
Alpha, but still,
it will be funny if they use the tablet internet stuff to like somehow tangentially related to Wreck-It Ralph. That'd be funny.
that'd be funny. Wreck-It Ralph isn't Pixar though, so maybe not. But that'd be fun.
I mean, it'd still be a fun
It's
nod.
it's funny though. Now, like it's being at an age where you know people with kids, where you're like, yeah, I'm sure, like as a parent nowadays, yeah, this is probably 1,000 times more relatable to you than like a movie from 1995 is. But like, come on, the originals are classic. But like, yeah, it's obviously going to be 1,000 times more. How do I deal with the kid and technology? It's 1,000 times more
Yeah,
relatable to the parents nowadays. So it's not that I don't get it. Jordan,
it just makes me roll my
speaking
eyes.
speaking of stuff I'm kind of excited for, weirdly, I'm kind of excited for. They're making a Mr. Miracle show, and I like Mr. Miracle. He's one of those weird apocalypse
I just
heroes.
know that him and Big Barda are a pair.
Yes, they are a pair. She's in this show. There's a bunch of guys like, hey, I recognize these names. Yeah, he came with the new. I think he came with the new gods. I think is the idea. I think the idea behind him. Does this say his idea? His whole bit. Oh yeah. So not only will Darkseid be in the show, but Highfather, Lightly Orion, and Funky Flashman will also show up. I think. Oh no, it does say okay. Funky Flashman serves as a narrator in certain scenes. Blah blah blah. Um,
And I have to be honest, I'm
Here it
I
is.
could care. I could
Um,
care less.
basically, the story. He took a lot of it to Marvel, but the basic story of Mr. Miracle is, and somebody in the comments obviously correct me if I'm wrong, but there's the two planets. You obviously know Apocalypse, right?
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
there's the other one where the new gods are,
yeah, the new
and
Genesis. Yeah, and so they as some sort of
they're the new gods.
yeah, basically. There's because of some sort of truce or whatever. When they're kids, Darkseid sends his son Orion to
New
New
Genesis.
Genesis, and New Genesis sends Mister Miracle to Apocalypse. So he grows up on Apocalypse, and that's why he's in love with Barda, and he knows Granny, Goodness, and all those characters, and that's why Darkseid's son is technically a good guy. And yeah,
Okay.
this show's about them. And there's a run of his comics I really liked when I was a teenager, and also he shows up in the audiobook version of Sandman, which I also liked.
Yes, he does.
And
Yes,
that
he
was one
does.
where I was like,
That's
hey,
true.
I know this character. Yeah, his name's Scott Freeman, is what his name is.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like I know of the character. I don't have a big
I've also seen like
I
the artwork. It looks really
I
pretty, like really pretty.
I don't feel strongly one way or the other. Like it's like cool. I'll probably check that out.
I'm with you where I'm like, you know what? This is what I like about James Gunn is he's like, you know what? Characters you don't know about, let's make a compelling show about them. Like I
Yeah,
love that. That's so cool. Like I genuinely, if it was
as
on
long as it's
something I
done
could
well.
access, yeah, yeah, well, yeah. I mean, he's yet to do anything bad. I really, I'm gonna find a way for us to do Peacemaker because I really want to watch season 2 of Peacemaker and I just don't have the time. Um, maybe we'll do another DC episode and then I'll find a way to watch Creature because I want to watch Creature Commandos as well because I hear that show's really good.
Boogity
Um,
boogity
and I'd like to rewatch Superman, so
boogity boogity.
we'll find a way. We'll find a way to make it work. I'll find an excuse to do DC related stuff and make it work. Um,
Boogity boogity boogity.
so they released a trailer for Has Been Hotel season 2, Jordan,
Yes, they did.
and it looks fun.
It looks dope.
There's a lot of interesting shit in there. I like that. Yeah, I mean, this show is I think a lot smarter than people give it credit for, but I do enjoy the fact that yeah, there's now this power vacuum amongst the V's. They're vying. They're like, oh,
Yeah,
angels can die.
the TV guy who's essentially like a T-vangelicist for
Yeah,
hell,
yeah.
where like he's like weaponizing them and changing. Yeah, it's really well done.
Yeah,
I'm
it looks pretty. It looks expensive. Like you could
it,
tell.
it got a budget.
It
It got
absolutely. This thing was
it did
massive, and it got a
it
budget.
It didn't have much of a budget for the first season. You could tell, like they didn't. And I have a feeling that on a tangential note of Amazon, I have a feeling that the Mighty Nine show will feel similar,
I
where
have a
it's like
feeling as well. Yeah,
that first one was crowdsourced and it had a budget, but like it didn't get the budget that then the second one will have gotten. You know what I
absolutely.
mean?
I
Like
completely agree. Yeah, this
so,
this
like this
looks
season
expensive. It
looks like it
looks
got a budget.
expensive. I'm curious about what they're doing with Adam. It looks like he's gone, but
So
he seems to be remaining in the form of hallucinations that
yeah,
the girl is
I
having.
was gonna say I don't I saw in the comments and I don't know if this was like a confirmed thing or if someone it was just a person's theory, but I saw a comment which said that they think or that they like their feelings or like their vibe or whatever is that yeah she's gonna be hallucinating him the entire time and she's
I
basically going
I
crazy.
think so. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna come back. I think that's the way they're gonna keep him
I
involved in the show. But also,
I think
Serpentis is in heaven, so it's possible that maybe he's dead and he went to hell.
I think they might keep him involved in hallucinations is one way, but I think they'll also have flashbacks with him.
Oh
That'll
yeah,
be the
yeah,
other
yeah.
that'll
That's another way. Yeah,
that'll be the other way they'll
true.
keep him involved.
But I could see.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah. It's. I mean, they went. Demons can go to heaven, can die and go to heaven. Stands to reason. Angels can die and go to hell. So
Especially because Adam only ended up in heaven because he was the first human.
yeah, exactly.
Like so, yeah, to have it be where he now ends up in hell and he comes in season three or something, or the end of season two, or halfway through season two, or who knows? All I know is I'm excited and I love that show,
I'm also
and
interested.
I still have all the songs on my playlist, and I will now have more songs because I will inevitably fall in love with the songs from that season too.
I'm also curious as to because they said there is so part of the season 2, and I think they've also announced season 3 as well of Has Been, but part of that was the Hell of a Boss join Amazon, so they're now on Amazon as well, and they're doing a new pilot, brand new pilot, brand new start. And they've said that these characters are going to cross over, and they do all exist in the same universe. So it just makes that I'm curious as to if maybe we'll see some of them show up in season 2, because I do quite
I
like.
mean,
I'm not as into Hell of a. I didn't like it
oh,
as much.
that was weird.
That's because there we go. Um, I didn't like it. My friends love it. They absolutely love it.
I never watched it.
It didn't do it's you. I mean, I would wait till it hits Amazon because it's just easier. But it's on YouTube right now. Go away.
Um, it would be interesting if,
Go away.
because you mentioned Adam ending up in hell. It would be interesting slash kind of funny if he ended up on Hell of a Boss.
That would be
Like
sick.
he gets sent down to the level of the Hell of a Boss people, and now he's part of their zany
That'd be kind of fun.
cast of characters.
Um, but yeah, I'm excited. We will watch that. We will continue watching that with great interest. Gonna definitely watch that.
Yes, we can.
So Jordan, apparently, hold on, hold on.
Holding on.
Okay, apparently, Jordan. Remember that franchise we often talk about, National Treasure, Jordan. Remember National Treasure,
Can, can I let go? I'm still holding on.
Jordan. Remember National Treasure.
I'm gonna assume I can let go. I do know National Treasure and how
Apparently,
they never told us what was on that secret page. I'm
apparently
sorry.
that
I'm
that
sorry.
show
I'm
that
sorry.
show they made got canceled after one season. But apparently Jerry Bruckheimer has revealed
Su
exciting news
surpri
about National
surprising,
Treasure 3, Jordan.
surprising no one
Jordan, what do you think what do you think he says about National Treasure 3?
that they're going to finally address what's on the secret page because they managed to convince Nicolas Cage to come back
Jordan, he said they're even closer on that one. So it could be coming soon.
on the secret page
Maybe.
of the president's book.
Maybe not. You can't say
I
for
need
sure.
Justin. I need to know what was on that page.
Speaking of Nicolas Cage, oops, let's do this now. They
We're gonna
finally
Oh, the Cage and his carpenter.
the Cage. Yes, they finally revealed a full trailer for that movie. And Jordan, everyone can take a huge Jordan. I know you were worried about this. You in particular, you specifically, you were worried about this. And everyone who was worried about this Jesus horror movie, like, oh, they're gonna make Jesus into a horror character. You don't have to worry because Jesus is not the horror character in this, as it turns out. Turns out it's everyone's favorite bad guy. It's just regular old Satan in the form of a little boy who is tempting Jesus into being bad. Because Jesus knows that he's God's son at this point, and so does Nicolas Cage, and he's protecting the boy, keeping him safe until he can become an adult. And the entire time I was watching this trailer, beyond your initial question of who is this for, my main question was, why are you in this movie, Nicolas Cage? It is the most distracting thing that he's in this movie. Everyone else in this movie appears to be a person of color, except for Nicolas Cage, who is just there. He's just there for some reason. Why are you in this movie, Nicolas Cage? It's weird.
How much did they pay you to be in this movie?
Like, because I mean, there's a series of movies he did for money. Like, is this one of those? Was this you did this for money? And I mean, yes, obviously, who is this for? Who is this for?
That's what I watched the trailer you sent me and I was just baffled because
I
I just
mean, I
don't.
will give it. It appears to be significantly less blasphemous than they led people on to believe, but it's still
Still
weird.
weird.
That's weird.
Still very
I
weird.
don't get it.
Makes
Somebody
no
tell
sense to
me,
me.
is there anyone on the planet who's like, yeah, maybe? I mean,
Explain.
I will. I will because it looks bad, and we're gonna do a Jesus episode. It's coming.
Yeah, but
It's
I don't want
coming.
to pay. I don't want to pay to watch it in
I'm
the
not
theater.
paying money.
I don't want to use. I don't want to use my free
No, I don't
tickets
want
on
to use
it
free
either.
passes. I want to watch it on streaming, like Nicolas Cage's
Like
son Jesus intended.
like Satan
Like
intended.
it's like Satan intended. No, I have no. The only movie I recently considered Um, and that's was the Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, but that comes out after next week, so that's not gonna happen. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. Somebody explain it to me. Make me understand. Um, Jordan, you know that show, Law and Order SVU.
I am aware of it.
I have not watched it for a few seasons because I stopped watching it after COVID because all of their COVID episodes were bad and they chose to do COVID at the same time as they did their Black Lives Matter stuff, which was also bad because Law and Order SVU doesn't do nuance well. I mean, to be fair, I will give that show credit in terms of its like treatment of its propaganda. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still propaganda, but um, at least like some of the characters attempt to follow police procedure. Like back in the day, like they were borderline torturing people on that show. Like they're like there's episodes where Stabler was just throwing guys through glass, and you're like this feels illegal. This feels not okay.
I
Anyway,
mean, it was illegal and it wasn't okay.
um, um, so I haven't watched it in a number of seasons, yeah, because those episodes were horrendous. Again, their COVID episodes in particular were awful. To be fair, not a single show. I don't think a single one. You can't name me a show that has a good COVID episode. They're all bad. But anyway, I digress. Um, I guess in one of the more recent episodes, um, you've watched a little bit of it, right?
You used to watch it with you.
Okay, you know the Ice Cube character.
Yes.
Well, I guess in a more recent episode, it looked like he was gonna die. Like I
And
guess he
and
got.
there's Benson, who's the lady
Yeah,
cop, and
she's the
then there's
lady cop.
Stabler,
Yeah,
who is
every
the balding middle-aged white man who used to terrorize people.
yes, he left the show eventually, but he's back now. He came back and he has his own show. And yeah, recent episodes of that show, every season, Mariska Hargitay or Olivia Benson hints that this is the year she's gonna retire. Like she got a kid, and every season after that was like, okay, is this the year she leaves? Anyway, I guess the Ice-T character, he got shot or he got attacked or something happened to him where it looked like he wasn't gonna make it. And so the question of is Ice-T leaving Law and Order SVU? And Jordan, do you think Ice-T is gonna leave Law and Order SVU, a solid gig he's had for like I think 30 years at this point?
I don't think he's gonna leave it until he has enough that he can retire.
He is absolutely not leaving Law and Order SVU. I mean, to be fair, a lot of the guys who are on those shows forever did leave, so it's not unprecedented. It's just no, he. I think Ice T is gonna stick it out on that show until he dies or it gets canceled, whatever happens first. My question is, what do you think would cause them to? Okay, this is for both Jordan and the audience. What do you think would cause them to end Law and Order SVU, or is that show just gonna go until one of the main cast members dies? Like, what is gonna cause them to finally cancel that show? Because yeah, it's on like it's what we talked about, like 35th season. That's no, sorry, 27th season. That's crazy. Like that's wild. It's went on for
Well,
27 years. That's
the thing
crazy.
is, is unlike, for example, to bring it back to The Simpsons,
Yeah,
unlike
unlike
that, this show, as I understand it, much in the same way as like for example, The Rookie, it sets up or it has set up a precedent of a rotating cast,
yeah,
um,
okay, sure, but
and
like
so it can kind of keep going indefinitely because it's not really unless I don't know the show very well, it's not really about necessarily the characters themselves, but more the situations they get into.
kind of. With Benson's the only exception because she's been on the show for fucking ever. Yes, the show is about her at times. That drive those are always kind of the word. I can't stand the Benson. I mean, okay, that's not fair. Some of them are really good. Like one of the ones where she shows up to like I think he's like drop her kid off at daycare and I can't say what happens, but a lot it's surprising for a primetime show that you're allowed. Wow, I can't believe I'm allowed to hear this because SVU is usually the show that cuts away before anything bad happens. It's like, no, I'm being made to listen to this. This is uncomfortable.
Right,
Um,
but isn't the point of the show is like yes, the
but they
characters
have
are there and you're
storylines.
following them and they have storylines, but the point of the show is the special victims unit. That is ultimately who the show is
Yes,
about.
kind
Much
of yes, but
and
sometimes
and
no.
so
That's when the show
and
sucks.
so but no, but ignoring that, I'm saying ultimately that's
That's
what
the
it is
point.
about.
Is your point? Yes, yes, yes. You're right. You're right. The point is, it's
And
supposed to be
so
about that unit. You're right. It's
and
not,
so
but
ultimately it can keep going as long as they want it to keep going
yeah,
because
they could.
Benson retires, they bring in Benson's replacement.
Yeah,
They replace Stabler with another guy who's like Stabler. That's where I'm like I was
theoretically, well, I mean,
watching
that's what they did for like 20
I was
years. But
watching The Rookie. I'm still watching The Rookie, but I had to take a hiatus because I was watching The Walking Dead. But for example, on that show, um, yes, there are obviously certain characters who have been around since the beginning, but it's also not really. They could leave, and it's more about the police agency itself.
yeah, yeah, I get what you're saying. It's just one of those things where, yeah, that I can't believe people. To be fair, I
Or
love that
like
show, but I can't believe people still watch it.
or like The Office, for example. At a certain point, certain characters leave, and it's like, well, it's like when Steve Carell's character leave, and it's like the character keeps going, or
Yeah, but
the
the
show
show
keeps
got bad
going.
after that.
That's not the point. The point isn't whether or not the show would be good.
Did
The
they only
point is
go for like an
whether
additional season?
the point is whether like how long it could keep going. It could go forever,
I suppose, yeah, it can limp
or if you
along.
prefer, for as long as the ratings sustain it. That's my
Um,
answer. Well, I don't
did
remember what the question is, but my answer is as long as the ratings sustain it.
did we? I now I have this included, but I'm gonna cut it if we already talked about it. Did we talk about Jimmy Kimmel coming back to television last week?
I think so,
Yeah, we
yeah.
did. Okay. My entire video about him and Charlie Kirk got screwed up because he got put back on TV the next day. Um, so apparently, Jordan, finally, the last story, the final story. The guy who wrote the
But also, even if we didn't talk about it, everyone else has. They don't need to hear our
yeah.
opinions.
I'm pretty sure we did. I'm pretty sure we did.
I think we did.
Um, the guy who wrote the Batman 2 co-writer Mattson Tomlin, he has revealed that he is trying to make Spider-Man 4 with Sam Raimi. And my question is, do we want that?
Not
Now, okay,
really.
I'm gonna add a caveat. We also still have Tom Holland though. It's not one or the other. We can have both.
Okay, maybe. I don't know. For me, it would depend on a number of things.
The
Who's
story.
the villain? What's the story? like I saw rumors of like, um, what's her name? Not Emma Watson. Mary Jane, whoever Mary Jane is. Um,
Kirsten Dunst.
That's it. Thank you. I saw rumors. I don't know if it's true about how she would potentially want to come back and do Spider-Man 4 if her and Peter had a kid now, and the kid was like at like a reasonable age and stuff like that. And I'm like, uh, I don't know.
I've never seen. To be fair. Well, I mean, okay. Apparently, the new version of Ultimate Spider-Man is quite good.
Like
Um,
I
so,
think for me
but I've never seen a Peter Parker as a dad Spider-Man story that ever interested me.
the thing that makes me kind of lean away from it, funny enough, and I want to preface this with I love the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies at the time.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, like I think they were a very good product of their time. I don't think Sam Raimi is right for Spider-Man. I don't think he was ever right for Spider-Man.
No.
Um, and I don't think that a Sam Raimi, and maybe this is a controversial opinion, maybe people are going to come for me. I don't think in 2025, I don't think a Sam Raimi Spider-Man works.
It depends. It depends. There's so many. There's so many up in the air questions of things that would make it work for me. Um,
I think he could do like
but
a great Marvel zombie movie,
I mean, yes,
for
he
example.
would make a phenomenal Marvel zombie movie.
But I
I don't
don't.
know. I don't know. I mean,
It would depend on what villain he did.
my concern is
For me,
it would turn into Spider-Man Rain and Spider-Man Rain. That's Reigen Rain, not like rain is in water. Rain is in like
Oh, Reign, Reign.
Yeah, that Reign. Um, I'm concerned it would turn into that, and Spider-Man Reign is bad. It's one of the worst Spider-Man movies, Spider-Man stories of all time, and anyone who says otherwise is wrong because it's bad. It's the one where,
I think you've mentioned it to me before.
yeah, it's the one where Peter killed MJ with his radioactive sperm.
Yeah, the
And
stupid one.
and it turns out the bad guy's Venom, the ultimate bad guy's Venom. It's dumb. It's terrible. So like, yeah, I mean, to be fair, people are also gonna be like, but Mayday Parker, and I'm like, okay, maybe I'd have to see it. Context is important in this case.
I mean, if I'm being honest,
But I don't like
Mm.
old man
if I'm
Spider.
being if I'm being honest, I would much rather have a third Andrew Garfield Spider-Man where we get to see him like as the angry Peter Parker,
That'd be pretty fun.
and we see like something there. Like I'd rather he get to finish his trilogy than we get a
The, the,
fourth Sam Raimi
the thing
one.
about Sam Raimi, the thing about a Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie, Sam Raimi only ever saw Spider-Man as someone to pile onto, someone who was always depressed and sad. So, like,
Yeah.
he's not gonna be the one to come back and do Spider-Man and Mary Jane are married and happy and have a kid.
No,
They're gonna
he would
do, they're
he would come
divorced. They
in.
were
Yeah,
together for a while.
exactly.
They're divorced, and he's sad and depressed. That's what he would
Yeah,
do.
that's what he would do.
Like
I was gonna say.
he's not gonna do Mayday Parker because he doesn't like that. That's not the type of Spider-Man story he likes. So, but I'm not like, oh, I'm not against it on concept. I liked how also he it seems as though we don't deal in rumors and speculations and set leaks, but he might have been seen around London. London
That's
is
all we'll say.
London is where they're filming Avengers.
Yes, Justin, I got that.
So
But we don't deal in rumors, so that's all we'll say.
I mean, if he is, look, it's really they're making it really hard to dampen my excitement for that movie. I'm not, but to be fair, I'm a cheap slut.
Oh,
I
I'm an
will
easy
rag you
I'm an easy lay.
like
Like I will go in there, I will have a good time, and then I will come out afterwards and tell you all the ways it was lazy
I
and
mean
hackneyed and how I didn't care because it was still a goddamn great time.
look, we make fun of thing I recognize, but sometimes you like thing you recognize. And hey, if that movie is unabashedly thing you recognize, that is fine. That is fine.
I accept that.
I accept that. So today, that's the news, by the way. That was the news. That was the last news. That was the last piece of news.
Do 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 do
Jordan,
do
we managed to keep
do
it under an
do
hour
do
today. High five for us.
do.
We did it. It's under an hour. We're trying this new thing where we do time management. Where we do better time management. Jordan's gone. He disappeared.
When I block the camera with my hand, it just shows the background.
Jordan's gone. Oh, he's back! And he's gone again. And he's back! And he's gone again. And he's
Sorry,
back!
it's really distracting. Sorry.
If I did something similar. I'm gone! And I'm back! And I'm gone.
That's
And
actually
I'm
good to know.
back!
It's good. That's good to know
That's funny.
that it
Today's
does
show
that.
is brought to you by me,
Me. No,
everybody. No, it's brought to you by our friends over at Wild Education here in BC. They need your support. They're trying to move. They're trying to buy a new location. There's all sorts of trouble with our local politics involving animals. If you want to hear all about that, you know what I didn't, but after I get off here, I'm going to link it. You can go check out this most recent episode of the Arate podcast, where Leanne and Jake, I'm sure, talked about all that. I only briefly skimmed it because I was editing videos. But I'm sure they talked all about that and animals and all kinds of interesting stuff. And Leanne will be live on October 6th on Twitch, the Wild Education Twitch page, where she will be talking with a Skype a scientist, talking about animals. And she's also going to play a game where you can buy geckos, and it's going to be all kinds of fun. And she's cool. She's cool. She's a cool person. It's going to be fun.
True story.
And they need the help. They need the support. Go check that out.
Won't someone think of the animals?
Think of the animals.
Think of the animals.
Think of them. Right now.
Do it.
Do it. So on today's
Think of
show,
them.
That's the sponsorship section. They're sponsoring us. Thank you. Yay. On today's show, you saw the title. The title was originally, folks, just so you know, it was just going to be zombies. About midweek, and about midway through The Evil Dead, the question came up: what is a zombie? Is a zombie merely a reanimated corpse? Something that was once dead, that was once brought back to life? Is it magic? Is it science that brings the zombies back to life? What is a zombie? That's the first question. Let me know what you think a zombie is down in the comments. But Jordan, with that in mind, what's your first thing?
Well, my first thing is Night of the Living Dead.
The OG,
Uh,
right?
it definitely redefined what made a zombie movie a zombie
Absolutely.
movie.
I believe I talked about. I think I talked about the remake, the '93 remake on here before, and that movie is quite good. That was the one that made me go, you know what? Maybe I don't hate zombie movies. And the original is it's very faithful.
So, and I was just reading a little bit of the background stuff. So, uh, you asked what is a zombie? Technically, in this movie, they never call them zombies; they call them ghouls, because prior to this movie was kind of the thing that changed it
Yes,
all.
the
Um,
granddaddy of zombie movies.
but prior to this movie, uh, zombie I'm actually just going to read this because I don't want to mess this up. This movie redefined zombie. Zombie before this movie described a concept from Haitian folklore, whereby and I'm going to butcher this, a bokor, Bokor, could reanimate a corpse into an insensate slave. So that's what a zombie was before this movie. And then this movie sort of redefined, and people started calling a zombie after this into like a cannibalistic undead monster.
Hmm.
So this movie literally made zombies zombies.
Interesting. I mean, yeah, this is the most iconic zombie movie of all time. Every zombie movie, every zombie thing you know is this. It comes from this. It all comes from this. This is where it comes from. This
Uh,
and the next one.
so now having said all that, and I give it a little bit of a pass because it's old, but this movie kind of does everything that I hate about zombie movies,
Oh,
where it's just a
yep.
lot of sitting around and talking.
Holding a gun while sitting around in a room having a conversation while waiting for something to happen. And then something finally does happen, and it's a movie from the 1960s, so the thing that does happen is not terribly exciting.
Yeah, but again, I give it a pass because of when it came out.
Is it
Um,
like the remake where it's like, hey, if we all just sat down, had like a 5 minute rational conversation, almost every problem in this movie could be solved very easily?
yeah, so that kind of feeds into a thing that I've kind of realized about most zombie things, and that's the zombies aren't the threat.
No.
Zombies are fairly with like ignoring a few exceptions in which
We'll
they're
get to the
slightly
exceptions.
different. But most typical zombies are slow, they're dumb, and they're very
That's what I
manageable.
say. It depends. Like, yeah, is your idea of a zombie? Is it this movie? Is it the traditional? They're slow. They're shambling. Like, yeah, I remember the
No, no,
remake.
no, no.
The beginning of it.
This movie wouldn't be a fair example because they're too smart in this. Um,
But
they're
that's my thing, though. There's been a couple of points during the week where I was like, "This is too smart for a zombie. Is this a
like
zombie?"
to me, a zombie, like a true traditional zombie, is more like what you get in The Walking Dead.
Yeah, like
Which
in
is
the
which is different than what you get in this. Which and this is an important thing, and what I want to mention is they in this movie never once called them zombies. They're
no,
ghouls,
they're the
and
living dead.
ghouls are different than zombies
They're
technically.
technically, yeah,
Um, so like the ghouls in this, they use like rocks to break car windows.
yeah,
They try to use like they use things. They're smart enough to know to use things. Whereas like for example, the zombies in The Walking Dead are not.
yeah,
Those are just their brain stems are moving them and making them move.
yeah.
So there's different kind of zombies.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Um,
yeah. I mean, to be fair, everyone. breaks down zombies into the two kinds. There's your fast zombie and your slow zombie. But I'm like, Bob, but there's so many different sub variants of zombies.
Like there's like the zombie is being created by a parasite. There's the it's essentially rabies kind of
Right,
zombie.
but that's my
There's
point.
the
That's the question
there's
that we're
the
gonna
there's
ask.
the there's the living dead variant who wants to eat your
But that,
brain.
that's that. But that's the point of the point of the question is that we're gonna get there when we get to the rabies style zombies. We'll get there because I don't think they're
What's a
technically zombie.
zombie?
What's a zombie exactly? Jordan, is that do you have anything? Is there anything about the
I
plot
would
or the
say
story about this that you find particular?
funny, not really. There's not really that much interesting, but
It's like
I would say
five people
I would
trapped in a
argue
house.
I would argue this one of the progenitors of all zombie things, they are not zombies.
No, no, they're not. They're not zombies.
I mean,
Also,
they are literally not zombies, but I know other people would be like, oh, but they're essentially zombies. No, but they're not zombies.
also, I'm pretty sure this is the one where he didn't file for or trademark or copyright. So
Yeah, it
people
went into public domain like right away.
right away because he didn't file for copyright. So that's why there's a bunch of remakes of this, like a ton of remakes.
There's a lot.
Um, but that's the original. That's the it's really fitting that you started there because that's it.
That is it.
My first one
Um,
is
unless you have something you want to add.
no. Well, so the second movie he made, George Romero, the guy who made that, he made a movie called Dawn of the Dead, and Dawn of the Dead is also unbelievably iconic. Do you remember the episode of South Park with a California? It's nice to the homeless. California,
Yes,
yeah.
I remember the song. I don't remember the. Oh, wait, no,
Yeah, that's
change. Yeah,
making
yeah,
fun
yeah,
of
yeah.
this movie. Not this one specifically. I think it's making fun of the original, but the bit where they're in the bus, that's in this movie.
Oh yeah.
And this, okay, so this one is this is the remake of that. This is once again, this is Dawn of the Dead. Cue the trailer. Directed by Zack Snyder and written, shockingly, surprised me by James Gunn.
Huh,
I know.
really?
I saw his name pop up and I was like, really? And this, I think it's Zack Snyder's best movie. Like legit, it doesn't have any of the. I don't know if it's his first one or one of his first ones, but it doesn't have any of the flash or pizzazz or panache of a modern Zack Snyder movie. So there's no slow. Like there's I think one shot of slow motion. It's a tight hour 45 minutes. It's well acted, it's well performed, all the dial. But also, I think I realized this. I think Zack Snyder's a good director, but a bad writer. Put a pin in that. We're gonna come back to it. What I loved about this movie, number one, this is the movie that made me go. Once again, made me go. Yeah, maybe I don't hate zombie movies. Maybe I just hate certain zombie movies. But I kept wavering on that all throughout the week. But this one, I really like this movie. Every kind of criticism I had about 28 Days Later, where I was like, it doesn't really explain how the virus works. It doesn't explain. This movie immediately it does like sort of like every zombie movie does. It starts with this is the four zombies, and then it does like a prolonged opening credit sequence where it shows everything that happened since then. Blah 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 blah. And in that, it answers all the questions you're asking. It asks all the questions. So it's like, oh, is it airborne? How does it spread? How does it this? And they ask the questions. They don't know the answers to it because it's still new in the infection. But what I like, it proved this movie kind of proved my point. Where I was last week, there was a couple of movies actually this week which kind of proved my point of if this hit America would just quarantine off that section and the rest of the country would be fine. And that's what happens in this. Like they quarantine off the one section and they're more or less fine. It's super violent. It's super fun. Like there's a lot of really just standout zombie kills. The cast is great. It's got Ty Burrell in it as just this asshole character who has one of my favorite lines. Ty Burrell is for the folks at home, he is in Modern Family, if you don't know him by name. But for Jordan, you would know him as the inspector who teams up with Sam the Eagle in Muppets Most Wanted.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, he's in this, and he's just an asshole. The whole plot of this is basically much like the Night of the Living Dead, where they're trapped in a house. In this movie, they're trapped in a mall, and it's just them kind of surviving in a mall. And it's one of those movies where you could tell like everything is inspired by this. So obviously, not Left 4 Dead. Dead Rising is obviously clearly based on this, being that it takes place in a mall and it's a bunch of zombies in a mall surrounding a mall. Um,
I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Justin, if there's one thing that I've learned about zombies, it's that everything is always the same when the world ends.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair enough. But the Ty Burrell character at one point, he says, "If I ever get turned into a zombie, shoot me in the head immediately. Like, don't let me shamble around. Don't let me be like that." And he says it kind of like as an asshole. And so at the end, it's a zombie movie. It's one thing I appreciate about zombie media. Nobody's safe. He gets turned into a zombie. He has a big heroic moment where he sacrifices himself, and he's starting to come at them. And the girl he's been a dick to the whole movie, she's like, "Don't worry, guys, I got this." He goes, pow! Pops him right in the head instantly. And I was like, that's what he asked for.
That is what he asked for.
That's what he asked for. And there's lots of great for it. It's like, I think it's, for the most part, I like James Gunn's writing. And it's a lot of his style of writing. So if you like James Gunn, you're going to like it. But yeah, I was impressed by how much I liked it. More than anything, I was impressed by how restrained it was. I was like, yeah, I think this might be his best movie, and it's one of the only times where I was like, when they were like decapitating zombies and slicing them in half, I'm like, and it was bloody, or there's a really funny bit where they're all standing on the roof, and there's a guy at another building, and the Ving Rhames is in it, and he's like signaling at him, like, and they're communicating, and there's a point where they're just like sniping zombies for fun, and the zombies' heads get blown off, and the makeup is great. Like, I will not fault a zombie thing. I have yet to see bad zombie makeup this whole week. Like, zombie makeup is always on point. Even in the worst zombie thing, it looks great. Yeah, I think it's my favorite zombie movie. Because there's going to be other ones in this movie this week that I might have liked more. But, like, I don't know that I would say that they're specifically zombie movies, if that makes sense. Knowing that I did Paranorman, does that make sense?
Oh, it does. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. So yeah, I it's on Netflix. It's if you're looking for a good zombie time for Halloween, it's a good time. That's it. That's Dawn of the Dead. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
So when it comes to zombie movies, there's a few different flavors. There's the it's kind of like a silly joke parody of zombies.
Yes.
There's the
I get what you mean.
There's the like it's a horror movie and it's really violent and it's about the scary moment, scary moment to scary moment.
The survival movie, basically.
Yeah, and then there's the children movie variant,
yeah,
which you know.
Yep.
And then there's the ones where it's more about it's not so much about the zombies, it's about the relationships that form and develop and strengthen and break during the zombie apocalypse.
Those are usually boring. Those are my least favorite zombie stuff.
Those are very hit or miss.
Yeah.
Because if you don't like the characters, you
pretty much cover the spectrum of everything I have this week. That's actually really funny.
Their bond will mean nothing. But if you kind of get attached, which happened to me with The Walking Dead, I care about those characters now, and I like them. I actually like that show, and I intend on finishing it.
Oh, that's so interesting. I was gonna ask this. So The Walking Dead. That's where we're at now. We're at The Walking Dead.
No. That I'm ending it with that. That was all to set up Zombieland Double Tap, because the point of the Zombieland movies isn't so much the zombies as it is the dynamic between the characters.
But those movies also okay. I don't think I was listening to you watch it while I was making videos, and I was trying to figure out whether or not I had seen it or not, and I couldn't tell. I think I have seen it, but I couldn't tell. So I'm not 100%.
I hadn't.
I'm not 100% sure, but part of that, from what I recall, that second movie's bad. That's from what I recall.
It's not as good as the first one.
It's not as good as the first one. I recall it being bad. However, a part of that movie is watching zombies get blown away. So, like,
Sure,
No,
but like
it's
it's
not
not.
quite as like there's no zombies for episodes at a time, quite like The Walking Dead, for example.
Well, I mean, no, that show has a lot of zombies, but no, my point was more that with that one, I don't know how to in certain zombie movies, the zombies are like blanket zombies, like all of them are a character.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I do know what you mean. I'm mostly playing
Whereas
devil's
in
advocate.
that one, they're more of a prop.
Yes, you're not wrong. That
If that makes
in
sense.
particular, that second one, like the first one maybe is maybe arguable, but that second one is certainly less about the zombies are just a feature of that world. Like
Yeah,
it's
like they're
that's why
just
he calls it
there.
Zombie Land because yeah, it's just
Yeah.
they're just there. They are coexisting. You coexist with them now. In
Um,
fact, it kind of reminds me of a movie I'm going to do later in the sense that they're just a part of life and they're not
and
really a threat unless you let them overwhelm you.
and I guess the difference between some of these zombie movies is like, for example, this one and especially as you get further into the seasons of The Walking Dead, for example, that one is not so much. Those become less about the outbreak itself and more about the survival aspect of it.
Yeah,
Whereas, like, for example, some of my movies are like at the moment of outbreak.
exactly.
So
Same,
it's
same.
more about the panic of like what the hell is happening. And so it does lead to very different kinds of zombie movies. This one though, yeah, basically the Wichita or whatever, the little girl one, who's not quite so little in this one.
No, it took them
Um
several decades to make this, so she is now a full-grown adult.
but she fucks off with a musician and then they all go after her basically. And it's fun. Like
it's
it can't be
it's all
stupid.
right. I mean,
It's
yeah,
fine. Like
it's
that
not as
kind
good
of
as the
is
first one,
that well that's kind of what a lot of zombie movies are though, where it's like it's not you're not gonna win an Oscar for a zombie movie.
unless it's
Like,
for makeup.
but you know what I
I
mean.
knew. I know. Well, I mean, I don't
For
know.
story.
Hold on, let's Google this. Oh, for story. Ooh, probably not. Well, let's find out. Let's Google
Um,
this.
but typically you don't think zombie movie and Oscars.
No,
Um,
I would not. I would not think
um,
that.
but yeah, I mean this one's it's fine. It's supposed to be
Ah, that's funny.
so I
First thing on Google has a zombie movie ever won an Oscar?
oh that's one thing that
No, to answer your question.
that's that is one thing that they introduce into this movie, which is a logical conclusion of a zombie world that goes on for too long, is there's new strains of zombies that are
Yeah,
introduced in
well,
this movie.
it made me think of just hearing it. It made me think of Look, I'm not a fan of the super zombie. I'm really not. I just think it's like putting a hat on a hat. It's just too
Left for
much.
Dead.
Yeah, but it made me think of Left 4 Dead. Like, and to be fair,
Um,
that's probably like one of the things sounded suspiciously like a bloater, and I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if one of the writers got high and played Left 4 Dead 2 and just was like, this is really clever.
oh, I mean, even
It's that kind of movie.
not even just that. I mean, Left for Dead and Left for Dead 2 are prolific when it
I
comes to
mean,
like zombie stuff.
I would
So
love a Left
it
4 Dead
it
movie.
it influencing this wouldn't really shock me. But yeah, there's the Homers, which are slow and dumb. There's the Hawkings, which show partial intelligence, and there's ninjas, which are silent and deadly.
And then isn't the plot of it? There's a new super one. That's
Well, those are the three super ones.
no, but there's a new one that they've discovered.
Oh, within the terms of this, I don't remember what they call
I
it
can't remember
though.
what they call it. I just remember him being like, "There's a new one," and that's the big plot of it. But yeah, I'm not a super zombie
Oh,
guy.
it was a
I
that's
do
what it
not.
was. That's what it was. It was a T-800.
That's it. Yeah, because it was like the Terminator.
It can only be killed by completely destroying the head.
yeah. George, is that it?
There's really not, I mean, there's not, what else is there to say about this?
It's fun. It's all right. It's
It's
all
fine.
right.
It's fine. Like, it's inoffensive.
See, some of these offended me. Well, okay, one of these offended me, but we're gonna get there. So this movie is the movie where I went, um, what is a zombie? Because when I typed zombie movies into Google, Jordan, one of the first ones that popped up was The Evil Dead 2. And I went, perfect. I watched Army of Darkness for this show, and I was like, our Army of Darkness, I remember saying that felt like the second half to a full movie, and this movie feels like the first half to that movie. And are they zombies, Jordan? Because technically speaking, there's creatures in this that are reanimated corpses. They are people who have been killed and brought back to life, and they look like shambling corpses, but they're being possessed by a demon. So, are they zombies or are they demons? But by what you said, based on your description of what a zombie used to be, then they're more zombies than the Night of the Living Dead zombies. If zombies are a thing that a guy brings back to life as a slave, that's technically what these things are.
I mean, that's what that one Wikipedia article said that zombies used to
Okay,
be.
first question. You've never seen any... No, that's not true. I think we watched one of the remakes once in theaters. But you've never seen the original Evil Dead movies, right?
I don't think so.
So, this
I
one...
know, I know that there's a guy with a chainsaw because Reboot made fun of him.
Yeah. Sorry. This is the Evil Dead 2, by the way. I don't know if I've said that already. This is the Evil Dead 2. And I'm not gonna... There's certain things I won't... I'm not gonna sit here and say it's bad. It just didn't do anything for me, and it didn't do anything for me.
I might need to duck out real quick because my stomach is making things uncomfortable.
Oh no! With Jordan, I'm drowning here. I'm drowning. With Jake and and every week we
I'm coming back.
We set our phases for fun, and we
I'm almost there.
And we talk about
Oh, my stomach.
We talk about Star Trek. And Joe, I just feel bad for the poor Spotify audience who had to listen to me flounder.
Sorry. I'm hoping
just,
that'll be the only time that happens, but I make no promises.
That I had to stop. I was like, I'm just gonna end up repeating myself, and it makes me feel weird. And I lost
my cords are all tangled.
I lost my train of thought. I just feel bad for the poor Spotify listeners.
Yeah, well, I mean, sorry.
It's okay. I mean, I suppose the Spotify... I suppose I could cut that out of the Spotify version.
That's true, you could.
You know what? Maybe I will. Maybe that's the type of stuff you only get when you watch the live stream. I'll probably cut that out.
Because, yeah, nature was calling. Nature was screaming at me.
It's a YouTube mid-amble.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, sometimes certain things can't be avoided.
Let's take it back. We'll take it back to the beginning of the Evil Dead 2.
So you were talking about Evil Dead and how there were people and zombies, and
right.
I gotta be honest, I wasn't paying attention because I was focusing on something else at the time.
Okay, let's go back to the beginning. So when I was about midway through this movie, Evil Dead 2, we're talking about the Evil Dead 2.
Yes.
That was the point where I went, what is a zombie? That was the moment where I asked the question, because I was like, technically speaking, these are people who have been killed and have been brought back to life, and they are shambling, and they are technically corpses, and they are technically reanimated. But that's where I said your definition of what you originally meant it being a sort of kind of sound like a priest or a necromancer, whatever.
Voodoo, I think voodoo, is more what it was.
Bringing a person back to life. That's what this is. This is a demon is bringing people back to life. So I'm like, by the original definition, it is a zombie. So that's where my question became, what is a zombie? And like, there's certain things I will not take away from this movie. Like, it is visually impressive. There's a lot of really cool stop motion puppetry. Like, there's a point where they're fighting like a skeleton, and it's like a stop motion creature, and it looks really cool. But like, I didn't care for this. I thought it was really boring. Because, number one, it's I don't know if it's a remake or a redo, but the first Evil Dead is a cabin in the woods movie, where it's a group of teenagers who go to a cabin in the woods, they find the Book of Dead, they read from the Book of Dead, and it summons a demon, and the demon tortures them. And it's very much a straight horror movie. This is a remake of that. So Ash and his girl, or it's a reimagining of it. Wikipedia was unclear. So it's still Ash and his girlfriend wind up at this cabin in the woods, and they read from the Book of the Dead, but the tone is more comedic and it's more silly, and the girlfriend gets killed immediately, and they don't do any of the like the movie starts with they're already driving up, like there's no real establishment of their characters, so they don't really have character, much of it in the way of characters, at least in my opinion, and so the girlfriend gets killed pretty immediately, and then it's just Ash by himself, and it's a bunch of silly and weird and like violent like horror movie, but also it's vaguely comedic imagery that it's like, oh yeah, this is kind of fun, but it's also kind of boring. And then about midway through the movie, they introduce there's the cabin in the, so for some reason that is unexplained, they never explain it in the movie, and I tried reading it. Ash, the Bruce Campbell character, and the girlfriend wind up at this cabin where this guy is studying the Book of the Damned, and him and his wife are studying the Book of the Damned, and his daughter has gone off somewhere to help it, to aid in the research, and has come back, and she is trying to get back to the cabin, which is being cut off from like the main road because the bridge that connects to it is destroyed. So why, if he was researching, who rented the cabin to Ash? Like, it drove me crazy the whole movie. I tried to Google it because I was like, if he was studying the Book of the Damned with his family in this cabin, why would he rent the cabin to this random couple, random college couple who is just staying there for the weekend? Was it the demon who did that? And when the demon did it, and so then you find out over the course of the movie, like they're reading in the Book of the Damned that there's this guy that's prophesized to destroy the demon. And so it's like, well, wait, so the demon summon him there? But why would the demon summon him there if he knew was the one who was going to defeat him? And I was like, this doesn't make any sense. And so then the movie ends with, it ends on a major cliffhanger where Ash gets sucked into the past, and it sets up the Army of Darkness, and he finds out that, oh, he's the one who's destined to destroy the demon. It ends with him being like, no! And then the movie ends. And yeah, it's just...
So I'm hearing a lot of talk of demons on Zombie Week?
That's my point! But it was on, when I Googled zombies, it was like at the top of the list. But I'm like, but technically, like they're called Deadites.
Actually...
Like, they're called Deadites. That's what they call them. And yeah, the thing from Recess where he's like, I'm dead. Or not Recess, Reboot. I'm dead before dawn. I'm dead before dawn. That's from this movie. And it's you're dead before dawn. And they go, you're dead before dawn. You're dead before dawn. But that was my question, was like, again, technically speaking, the girlfriend dies. She gets killed. And the demon... But it reads more like a she's being possessed demon thing than it does a zombie thing. But technically she's reanimated. So that was my question. Are these zombies based on their description? I would say no. I would say they are not Deadites are not zombies. They're demons. They're different. But are they different?
When you Google zombie definition, the first thing that pops up is a corpse said to be revived by witchcraft, especially in certain African and Caribbean religions. And then the second thing that pops up is a tall mixed drink consisting of several kinds of rum, liqueur, and fruit juice. So I definitely don't think that the things in this movie are a tall mixed drink consisting of several kinds of rum, liqueur, and fruit juice.
I mean, Bruce Campbell. I mean, he's a tall drink. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He's a pretty tall drink. You know what I'm saying? You know, he's a drink. No, no.
But then further down under informal. So I guess for certain ones of these movies, informally they are zombies, because informally it describes a zombie as a person who is or appears lifeless, apathetic, or completely unresponsive to their surroundings.
So by that definition, then I see. I would not consider them zombies, but by that definition, they're zombies. But I would. But then by that definition as well, technically speaking, 28 days later, like we said last week, they're not zombies because they're not brought back to life by magic. They're technically not dead.
Technically, no.
No, they're technically not dead. So what is a so we that comes back to the question of the video of the episode. What is a zombie?
What makes a zombie a zombie?
What makes a zombie a zombie? But yeah, that's the
Are
Evil
we
Dead
are we
2.
staying true to the more uh historically accurate quote unquote depiction of what a zombie is, which is raised corpse by whatever means, magic of whatever, witchcraft or what or demon? Is it just a raised corpse that goes around? Is that a zombie, or is it thing which is unresponsive, like a human, which is unresponsive. And we can't even just say human because that leads into some of my other movies, which we'll get to. But
Yeah, yeah, same,
um,
same.
before, I guess even this next one that I'm about to talk, you're done with your
Yeah,
previous one,
Evil
right?
Dead. Evil Dead. We're done. We're done with Evil Dead.
Um, so my next one is Quarantine, which came out in 2008, and it's actually a remake of a movie that came out in 2007, REC, recording. Um,
Oh yeah, I knew
and
that. I knew that.
um to the point where I was just reading about Wreck, and yeah, this is pretty much just a one for one remake. Um so we follow a news reporter who is at and her cameraman who are assigned to follow a pair of Los Angeles firemen. They follow a call to a building and end up getting locked in. And this is where I will say the things in this movie are not zombies.
But does the movie ever call them zombies though?
I don't think it actually does, but they kind of the way they act and the way they shamble.
Google lies to you and says it's zombies, but the movie never claims to be zombies. To be fair,
It
from what I
doesn't
recall,
really,
from what I
yeah,
recall of that movie.
doesn't really specifically call them that. In fact, to the point where they do specifically attribute the symptoms to rabies,
Yeah,
because they
more
are
specifically to like
essentially just
mania, essentially.
well, they're just no, literally these it is in this movie, um, it's just super rabies.
What's funny?
It started off in a dog.
What's funny is the idea that a zombie like thing is rabies. It pops up. I can't remember which one, but it popped up in one of my movies as well. So it's clearly a fear that people are a
Oh,
fear that people have.
it's the most the two. I mean, if there was ever to be a zombie apocalypse, this is one of the most likely ways it would happen.
I mean,
For the mutant or the
oh,
rabies,
in terms of like actually genetically, yes, you're not wrong.
yes.
That and the mushroom one.
Especially because, as I understand it, humans can get
Oh,
rabies.
absolutely, we can get rabies. Yeah,
And so the idea
it
that
doesn't
rabies.
do what this movie says it does, but yes,
Well,
absolutely,
no, but
humans can get
that's
rabies.
because the rabies in this movie. So I've jumped the gun here. At a certain point in the movie, they're all locked, and I guess I missed this when I watched it, or I missed the
To be
specific
fair,
part.
it's
I
a
know
shitty found footage movie.
I know the part which it's talking about, but there's a part
To
where
be
it
fair to
basically
you,
the reporter and her cameraman are the only ones who have survived, and they end up going into this like getting chased in by the I'm gonna call them zombies, even though they're not zombies. They get chased into this one apartment by the zombies, and they're wandering around in the dark using the night filter thing on the camera to be able to see. Um, and we see a bunch of newspaper articles and stuff. And I guess like he reads it at one point, and I could see that he was reading something, but I couldn't make out what it actually
yeah,
said. Um,
one of the
so
detriments to it being a found footage movie. That's why I hate found footage movies.
yeah. So I guess that apartment was a doomsday cult members apartment, and you find out from that article or whatever that he broke into a military's biological facility and stole a bio. I'm just reading this. Stole a biological weapon called the Armageddon virus, which is a mutated form of rabies, which is highly contractable and deadly. So that's the thing that is in this movie. And
It's one
so
of those ones
then
where like that seems unrealistic and evil, and then you're like, nah, real life's way more evil.
I mean, if COVID taught me anything, no,
There's a lot of yeah. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
Um,
We're gonna get
oh,
there.
this was long before COVID, so it was not
No, but
influenced
there's
by
a lot of
that.
these movies where you're like, man, yeah, we're gonna get there. You can't talk about the big C
Um,
on YouTube. You get banned.
um, But yeah, so then this movie has a terrible ending.
Yes, okay,
Um,
okay. I was gonna say that. I remember the ending of this. I remember. There's two things I remember about this movie because this movie came out during that time I often talk about where I worked at the movie theater. But this was one of those ones I walked in to watch before I started a shift, and I remember just falling asleep at being so boring. But the one thing I remember about it is I don't remember the context. I don't remember what the ending is. I just remember the ending is bad.
so the context.
All I
So
remember. I just remember the
um,
ending is bad.
yeah, the newspaper or the not newspaper, but the video recorder guy and the reporter, they have been sneaking through this pitch black apartment. They end up finding one of the things in there with them. But the girl can't see it because it's pitch black in there, and it can't see them, so it can't find them. So they keep trying not to make noise, and then the camera guy, trips over a thing and makes a bunch of noise, and it finds like it tracks in on the sound and beats it to death. And the
As one
girl
does.
keeps trying to go for the camera because otherwise can't see. And she goes for it once, and the thing hears her pick it up or something and goes and starts beating her to death. And then she gets away, and then she goes to retrieve it again, and she is again attacked, and then or it's something like that. Like she's attacked once and then is dragged away. Basically, she gets attacked and then gets like it ends with her
Yeah,
getting
yeah, yeah,
dragged
with her
into the
getting dragged
darkness.
away, yeah, and then the movie just kind of stops. It
The
doesn't
movie
end so
just
much as it's. But
stops.
that's again that has everything to do with the fact that it's a shit found footage movie because it
There's
wants to.
apparently there's apparently a sequel.
That doesn't surprise me. It's probably straight to DVD schlock.
I don't know, but I'd be interesting to see if the girl survived because technically we didn't see her die. We see her got her
Yeah, I just
dragged
remember the
off.
ending is terrible. Jordan, is that it for quarantine?
Yeah,
That's a that's
I
a
would
funny
not
sentence.
call this I would not call this a zombie movie.
I would agree with you. I completely agree with you. And okay, so okay,
Google called it one, but I wouldn't call this one.
this movie, this next movie. Okay, so typically whenever you see a zombie in a movie, it's usually an adult, and whenever you see a child zombie, it's
And
appropriate
human.
and human, but it's usually appropriately upsetting. So this movie is called Cooties, and it stars Elijah Wood. It's got Rainn Wilson in it. It's got
White?
Dwight. Yeah, it's got Dwight from The Office in it. He's the gym teacher, and it Elijah Wood is a substitute teacher, and he's substituting at the school, and because of a um, bad mutated chicken that winds up in a bunch of chicken nuggets. A little girl eats it, and she turns into a zombie, which they call cooties in this movie. And she ends up biting a bully character who then proceeds to infect this entire school. And later on in the movie, you discover that it only affects people who have gone through puberty because multiple of the adult. Or at one point, Elijah Wood gets bitten, and they quarantine him um off in another room or whatever, and um yeah, the kids are like tearing apart. Oh yeah. The janitor. There's a janitor. He's the guy from one of the guys from Lost, and he's just in his van getting high while everything happens. And what I appreciate about this movie is because the zombies are kids, the adults don't immediately just attack them and kill them. Like there's like some hesitation as to what they figure out what exactly this is. But yeah, it turns out when the zombies are kids, it's uncomfortable. Well, at least it was for me. Uncomfortable when Dwight from The Office just beats up a crowd of children. It's weird. All I could think about was how weird it must have been to film it. Like there's a point where he's a zombie child. He's not an actual child, so he doesn't count. But like there's a zombie child who like has half of his jaw just like torn off, and they like ram a car into him. And if that were an adult zombie, that would have been sweet. But as a child, it made me feel weird. Does that? Am I weird? Is that weird?
Um, kind of. I mean, zombie kids show up in like there is some in in The Walking Dead, but they kind of in
It's
that
always
show
sad, right?
yeah, they play it more for
Exactly.
like it's tragic, like
Yes. But this is
it's the
like
saddest thing.
they're treating it like it's regular zombie affair where you could just mow down zombies, but it's like I don't know, it's made weird by the fact that it only affects children. And the movie has a tone problem. So like yeah, they're doing jokes like again, it's got Dwight from The Office and he's pretty much just Dwight from The Office, but then like midway he starts to have these like emotional moments with he has this emotional back and forth with Elijah Wood where like basically the Dwight from The Office is dating this girl that Elijah Wood liked when they went to the same school, and he has let people believe that he's gone off to New York to be this big time writer, and he's moved back to write his novel or whatever. And he shows up and immediately starts flirting and hitting on her, and it makes Dwight from The Office really self conscious and he breaks down. He's like, you came in and really started hitting on her, and you're the big shot writer, and I'm just this nothing of a nobody gym teacher. I'm a loser, whatever. And he's like breaking down. It's a genuinely like touching moment. And Elijah Wood's like, no, man, that's all bullshit. I just wanted to be impressive. I was actually just like a teacher like you guys. Like I'm just a regular guy. And yeah, it's really weird. It's a really weird movie. The tone is all over the place. It is bizarre and weird and upsetting. And the zombie kids are like they're smart. So like at one point, and like the kid whose jaw was torn off, he was the evil bully kid, and he was awful. Like even the teachers hated him. Like he's awful to everybody. He's just mean to everybody. So you feel less bad when he gets killed. Um, but he's
Yeah,
like
that's one thing in these zombie things is there's always the unpleasant characters, and you're always just waiting for them to die.
pretty much. But he's like skulking around the school and like stalking them. And like at one point, you see him like he's got like an evil grin on his face and he cuts the power. And it looks like he's like deliberately like taunting them. And he's just like, yeah, it doesn't read as they are technically zombies because they're like when they get bitten, like when he gets bitten, the girl like tears his face off, like rips his cheek out. So like they're dead when they get bitten. So it's like they are, for all intents and purposes, zombies. But this again is more like they call it cooties, and they kind of treat it more akin to like the rabies thing from your previous thing, or like 28 Days Later. But yeah, it was weird. Had a tone problem. Just a weird movie. Like it wants to be a comedy, but also wants to be a horror movie. Like there's some genuinely upsetting moments, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know. It made me feel weird. That would be it. Yeah, it made me feel weird. Also, but I think it was on Amazon, so I didn't have to download it, which was nice. That's cooties.
I understand. So,
I understood that reference.
uh, it's always weird to me in zombie things. So, a lot of zombie things they go the route of the disease or the thing. Oh, also the other most likely zombie thing that could probably happen in nature is actually The Last of Us with the cortisoid fungus. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
I I could believe that would adapt to be able to affect humans.
Also, spoiler alert: neither of us did not the Walking Dead. Neither of us did The Last of Us. I
No,
should have. I should
no,
have played
there
it.
there wasn't time.
There wasn't time.
Um, anyways, so yeah, in a lot of zombie things, they often go the route of it only affects humans.
Yes, a
Um,
lot of times.
like
Yes,
in a lot of the ones that I watched, that was the case. Um,
almost all of them for me. I think there's only one.
yeah, well, technically in the last one, the animals were infected, but that was rabies, so I don't count that.
Yeah,
Um,
that count.
this one though,
Rabies is a very real
it
disease that
is.
animals can get in real life, so that doesn't
Yeah,
count.
exactly. So I don't count that. This one though, it is zombie stuff, and it makes it weird when the animals also can change. I don't know why it makes it weird, specifically particular animals. We'll get there. The movie is Zombievers.
That movie sounded silly.
It is silly. But so Bill Burr and this other guy are delivering these chemicals, and one of them falls off and falls onto a beaver's dam, thus somehow turning them into zombies.
Yeah, but it also sounded like the people turned into zombie beavers, which was just a layer too much for me conceptually.
Yeah, so that yes.
I was like, that's too
But
much.
also they just were zombies too in this. So it gets to the point where yeah, the zombie beavers bite the humans and they turn into zombies and then I think they slowly turn into zombie beavers is the idea.
It's too much. It's
Um
too many things.
but the point where I go like okay, the I draw the line at insects. Like dogs and deer turning into like zombie versions or
Well,
whatever.
technically speaking,
But like
zombie
so
ants
I
are a thing.
so at the end of this, um basically in a post-credit sequence you see a honeybee which becomes infected from a corpse and returns to its hive in a zombified state. And I just
That technically, well, I don't know about bees, but it happens with ants.
I don't know.
Technically speaking, that's where that zombie mushroom comes
Yeah,
from.
yeah, I don't know. Um,
Just saying.
but yeah, this one was stupid,
It
stupid,
sounded
silly.
it sounded silly.
Like if there was ever a B movie, this was the B movie.
Oh,
This is a D movie. In fact, this might even be like a V movie.
a V movie, a low cut V neck top movie.
Um, there's really not much more to say about it. It focuses on it's got three college girls, so you see boobs.
Numb.
There's boobs,
There's boobs.
boobs,
Boobs.
boobs,
Boobs.
boobs.
Join, is that it?
That's it for Zombievers.
Some
Also,
beavers.
there's a lot of jokes about beavers.
I mean, that
Just
makes
a
sense.
lot of jokes about different kinds of beavers, if you catch what I'm saying.
Winkety, 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 winkety,
Winkety,
winkety,
winkety,
winkety.
winkety.
About our favorite basketball team, Jordan, the Hairy Beavers.
The hairy beavers.
Boy, were those beavers hairy. So hairy. So many beavers.
So what's your poison?
So, Jordan, I'm not going to lie to you. This next one's probably going to be a video. And I'm considering calling it just Fuck You. Okay.
Okay.
Let's start this
All
off this
right.
way.
Let's unpackage that one.
One of my favorite Scooby-Doo movies of all time. That's right. Didn't see that coming, did ya?
Scooby
In my
Dooby Doo.
opinion, the best animated Scooby-Doo movie, hands down. Although someone did make a case for The Witch's Ghost, but is Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island is the first one
Uh,
in that run of Scooby-Doo does. And I'm pretty sure it predates the live-action movie. I'm almost
so
entirely positive it predates the
yeah,
live-action
yeah,
movie.
I'm pretty sure it does. But before you get into the actual movie itself, I have to say, for to the individual who made the argument against, or who made the argument for the witches one, um, the zombie movie had to walk so one could fly on its broom.
Oh, it was Jake. I'm pretty sure it was Jake. He was like, but the witches one, because he said I don't think he said he hadn't seen Zombie Island, and I went, no, that's fair. The witches one is solid. Like that's solid.
Zombie came first. So zombie had to
Yeah,
shamble so
zombie
witch could
shamble so witch
fly.
could fly, and witch don't get me wrong, witch flies. Witch
Oh
flies.
yeah, that one's
It flies.
classic.
Oh, I mean, Tim Curry is phenomenal as the villain in that. Twist villain, solid twist villain.
Anyways,
Anyway,
zombies.
zombies. Yeah, that's the thing about those movies. They got solid twists. My favorite one though is always gonna be Scooby Doo on Zombie Island. That movie scared the legit piss out of me as a child. Like it was scary and it was frightening and it was dark and part
And it had
of
a killer soundtrack.
and it has a killer soundtrack and it is a much better movie than the movie I'm about to talk about. But the big hook of it is the ghosts are real. Like that's the hook. This time the ghosts are real.
I mean, there's an
And
entire song about it.
there's there's an entire song about it. It's terror time again, baby. But
No, I mean, isn't there one where it's like da 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 da
yes,
da
the
da da
ghosts are
da?
real, but it's
The
fake.
ghosts are real, but it's fake.
The ghosts are real. It's a frightening. Anyway, it's not about that. It's not about that movie.
But
The
that one's
hook,
much better, and I like talking about
the
that
hook
one.
of that movie is what if ghosts and goblins are real? And when you're talking a Scooby Doo movie, that's to me the only time a Scooby Doo movie is interesting. When it's just a guy in a mask again, I could watch the show. I could watch a version of the show. It's not interesting when it's a guy in a mask. But I understand that fundamentally, that's what Scooby-Doo is about. Is about questioning, like, the original show is about questioning, like, things at face value. I understand that. This is
It's also, yeah, it's about teaching kids, not to trust
to be
every little thing
discerning
they
thing
hear.
about
Yeah.
things, yes. This is Scooby-Doo Return to Zombie Island. That was a very long intro. And this movie sucks monster dong. It is awful. Okay, that's not fair. It is not awful. It is actually genuinely very. It is quite a funny movie. But as a sequel to Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island, it sucks dong.
It offends my
It
sensibilities.
offends my sensibility. So the plot of this is that the Mystery Incorporated has been told that they are not allowed to mystery solve anymore. They are swearing off of mystery solving, and this movie kind of treats mystery solving to the mystery gang. It's like crack to them. They're like addicted to drugs. Like they're addicted to mystery solving, and they're like twitching. And they make a promise to Shaggy and Scooby that there will be no mystery solving from now on. And they keep seeing all this like inexplicably suspicious things, and they're like, nope, we promised. And while watching Elvira, Mistress of the Night, yes, that Elvira, Scooby and Shaggy inexplicably win a vacation to an island, a tropical island, and as they're going to this tropical island, there's all these suspicious things. So like the ferry driver is like your atypical like spooky ferry driver. Beware, youngin's one of those guys. And they're going into this island, and Daphne's like, it's weird. We're supposed to be on this tropical vacation and everything looks like it's a swamp. And they walk past these people who are like, don't go there, kind of thing. And they
Beware.
they're all of them are like, this is weird and suspicious and familiar. And they get to the island eventually, and there's a crew of people who all look suspiciously like. One of them is even dressed like the characters from Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. And they're staying at a hotel called Moonstar Island. And they're all of a sudden out of nowhere, zombies start attacking them. And they're like, this is really familiar. And there's this, they run into this one character, the one who's dressed like what's the character's name? She wore the green dress in the original.
I don't
Mona
remember.
or something. Anyway, she's talking to Shaggy, and she keeps offering Shaggy stuff, and she goes, yes, and Shaggy's like, I would like this, and she's like, yes, and Shaggy's like, well, I would like this. He goes, yes, and it's quite funny. And the person who's running the hotel or whatever, he's being oddly suspicious. He's like, aren't you, famous mystery solvers? Not even the remotest bit suspicious? And he's just really cagey and suspicious. And it's like, yeah, it's really obvious they're faking this. And I thought it was like they were faking this to try to steal gold or something. It was a real estate scam. And then it turns out that the guy who's suspicious is actually a famous director, and they're making a movie. And it turns out that Velma has a blog, and there's this really funny running gag where she's like, yeah, I write all this stuff in my blog, and all the characters are like, we have a blog? And it turns out that she's like, oh yeah, I have all these mysteries. I have this whole section on my page dedicated to unsolved mysteries, because it never quite felt right what happened there. It felt unresolved to me. And earlier in the movie, there's a point where they first get to the hotel where they're like, oh, this all seems familiar. It's just like that time when we went to the island that was just like this. And they just beat for beat completely recap the plot of the first movie. And you're like, yeah, and then the cat people try to suck our lives out, and there was the zombies, and all the zombies were the victims of the cat people. It's like it was during that summer where I interned for a news studio, and yeah, so they're like the guy they Shaggy and them
which is not what happened.
Which
You
is
had
not
your
what
own
happened.
show.
She had her own show, and she was very much an adult. And so yeah, they're trying to. The zombies are attacking them or whatever. And Shaggy and Scooby like, you guys gotta solve this. Like, we can't, Shaggy. We promised you we wouldn't. It's like, fine, I absolve you of your promise. Just solve this. And then, they like kick into gear and they're like they solve it like instantly. And Velma, like a drug addict, he's like, oh, okay, that's better. And then
I got my
and
fix.
she got
Oof.
my fix. And yeah, it turns out that this is a director, and he on Velma's blog saw a section that were the unsolved mysteries, and I was like, but no, it wasn't unsolved. It very much was solved. You solved it. It was the Lena and the girl, and they were luring people to the island so they could suck their life out. It was magic. It was zombies. And so then there's a point where yeah, the zombies go to like attack Scooby and Shaggy, and they're like zombies aren't real, and it's like, but I have a clip of it which I'm probably gonna put in this video, but
They are real.
but they are real. You encountered them. It's not even like one of those Scooby Doo movies where it's like it's in its own sort of pocket world. You literally described the events of the time that the zombies were real, like 10 minutes ago.
I mean,
in
unless
movie
you're
time.
retconning it all.
Unless you're gonna idiotically retcon it all. Spoiler or foreshadowing. And so then the rest of the movie is she's like, yeah, we could tell that they were all actors because the one girl kept saying yes and to everything, and everything looked like a set. It was really obvious, and it's really obvious. It's what makes it funny. And so then the rest of the movie is them filming Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. That's the plot of the movie. And it's genuinely really funny. There's a lot of really funny jokes that are like honestly super duper funny.
And yet you hate it.
Well, so it gets to the end, and they're trying to they're filming the thing, and someone keeps showing up and messing up the filming of it, and it's implied that it's like the cat people. That's what it is. The cat people show up to try to get them, and he's like, oh, the cat people aren't with me. And then there's another reveal that these cat people are trying to get Moonscar's gold. And so at the end of the movie, she's like, oh, yeah, I'm really happy that we went on this vacation so I could finally resolve this unsolved mystery. It turns out that the cat people and the cat, she's like, but what about the cat people? It's like, oh, they're just the same people from last time. They're just looking for the gold. And he's like, but what about the zombies? And she's like, swamp gas. And fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
No.
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 Fuck you,
No.
baby. Like, this movie reads as though the person who wrote it never actually watched the original Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. Because they just keep calling, oh, it's just the cat people. But there's a reason why they're cat people. There's nuance to why they're cat people. It's because they prayed to a cat god and it gave them cat powers. But it was frustrating because legit, it's a funny movie. Like, there's some, it's more of a parody of Scooby-Doo adventures than it is an actual Scooby-Doo adventure, where it's like, yeah, it's funny. I legitimately laughed at times, but I got to the end, I'm like, no, fuck you. Like, how dare you attempt to retcon, like, the best Scooby-Doo movie? Like, fuck you. I
You
hated
can
it.
go fuck yourself there, buddy.
Fuck yourself there, buddy. Like, there's a really funny bit where Fred, he sold the mystery machine, and they introduce a character, Fred's stunt double, who is driving around a souped up monster truck, and he's like, can I drive it? And the guy's like, absolutely not, but you can sit in the passenger seat and we'll drive it across the island. He's like, all right. Yeah, it's funny. It's a funny movie. Like, it is funny, but like, fuck
It has
you.
its moments.
Yeah. I hated it, and I loved it. I hated that I loved it,
You hated that you loved it.
but I hated it. It made me mad because it's like, oh man, it's one of my favorite zombies. That original one, like, it also it has that weird, like, modern, everything looks flat Scooby-Doo animation where everything just looks flat and cheap and flash animated because it is. Like, that original one looks great. Like, the zombies look great. Again, the music is great. This one also has music in it, and it's bad. Like, there's a extended musical sequence that is bad. It's like this weird 50s hula music, and it sounds terrible.
I understand.
That's it. That's Return to Zombie Island. Fuck you.
I understand your plight. So now we move on to my last rapid fire, which I'll try to keep rapid.
Previously on The Walking
Um,
Dead.
it's The Walking Dead.
Previously on The Walking Dead.
Um, this show starts off kind of slow,
Okay, good.
but
I'm glad to hear you say that because before you get into your bit, I will. My this is the thing that made me go. I hate zombie shit because my friends insisted I watch the first episode and it was agonizingly boring. I felt every second. I could not wait for it to be over, and I've never watched a single episode after
it
that, other than
yeah,
maybe one or two in like
it
whenever the governor
also
shows up. Michonne was there, so I know who Michonne is.
yeah, the governor. He's a thing. But
Boy, howdy, is he a thing.
and Michonne. Um,
And I know Daryl. Oh, that's not true. My other Walking Dead story is when we went to see Michael Rooker. Hey, I actually remembered his name this time. When we went to see Michael Rooker's panel at Fan Expo, and someone asked him what he was going to be doing that season on The Walking Dead. Spoiler alert for, but they asked
Michael
him
Roker.
Michael Rooker. He's on The Walking Dead. He's Daryl's brother. But in at
Oh,
least
he's from Guardians of the Galaxy
Guardians of
too,
the
I
Galaxy,
think.
yeah. He at this panel we were at, people asked him, "Oh, what are you going to be doing this season?" And he went, "You're just going to have to see." Or he said something, and then the next episode that aired the day we were at that convention, he got killed off, and I was like, "That son of a bitch knew. He knew what he was doing. He's
Um,
fucking with us."
I'm almost done season 4, but I'm still waiting for the Winchester's dad to show up
Oh yeah,
because
Negan. Yeah. He does
because
some bad shit.
I know he's on this show at some
He's in
point,
Tekken.
but is he?
Yeah, he's in Tekken 7, I think.
Huh. But so
I'm pretty sure.
the show makes the mistake with the first episode because I was concerned that they were all going to be that long, but the first episode is like an hour long, which is too long.
It's too long.
The rest of the episodes are like 40 minutes,
Oh, okay, that's not so bad. That's manageable.
something like that. Yeah, they're much more
Just seems
manageable.
like this show has a
And
bad first episode.
it is. Um, because
So you tell me if I
yeah,
watched the second episode, I might be a fan. I might have been a fan of this show.
certainly the first couple episodes, because it's one of those things where um, it's like I mentioned earlier, where some zombie shows or some zombie things, it comes down to how much you like the characters.
Yeah, for sure.
And in order to develop a bond with a character, you have to stick with it long
Yeah.
enough to form a bond with a character.
By the way,
Uh,
I'm like losing you. You're just ahead. Just so you know, you're like slowly disappearing from frame. Sorry, continue.
um, it's because the stand sucks. Um, and so this show does a really good job of over the seasons. Um, you get to watch character growth
Yeah.
to a big degree. So like Rick, the main guy, he starts off as a cop, right? Like in the pre zombie world, he was a police officer. So like he very much is like a moral character in the beginning, and so you slowly watch as his line gets
He's a
pushed
little.
further and further and further. Um,
He's a little more willing
and
to patoo patoo. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, literally.
Patoo 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 patoo.
Um, and to the point where I'm gonna spoil some shit. So there's a point where
Go for it.
his wife gets pregnant and then has to have a C-section, and because this is a zombie world and they don't have all the medical equipment that keeps a person alive when they have a C-section, she ends up dying.
Oh no!
Also in also in this world,
Should have banged.
they're
Should have
the,
banged the Punisher.
in this world they're all infected.
Oh yes,
So
yes I recall that. Yes. And it says
So when you die,
you
you turn
instantly
into a
change.
zombie.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Um,
do know that.
and so a big thing with the show, Carl,
Carl.
the main guy's son, um, he i- he over the seasons gets to the point where like he's with his dad. He's like, I don't need you. Like I can survive on my own. He's like your standard bratty little kid, but if it was in a zombie apocalypse, so it like makes it worse. Um, but then you have characters like yeah, Daryl, like the character of or the brother of what's his name from Guardians of the Galaxy, where it's like he starts off being like real rough around the edges. You think he's going to be like his brother, because in that first episode, the brother tries to mutiny and like take control of the group, and Rick locks. I think he's Rick.
Yep, yep. Rick Grimes.
Rick Grimes, yeah, handcuffs him to the top of the
No relation
roof,
to Frank Grimes.
and they end up leaving him there, and he comes back like a season or two later, but the brother of him starts off aggressive and like a dick, like his brother is, and you think, oh, he's gonna be like the troublemaker of the group, and then he ends up having kind of a heart of gold, and he goes through like a big character arc, to the point where, from what I read, he ends up getting a spin-off show.
Yes, yes, he does. He does have a
There's
spin-off show.
apparently there's apparently like 10 spin-offs
Yeah, there's
for
like a
this show.
shit ton of spin-offs. Like at one point I saw one pop up with with the dad from Supernatural, and I was like, and then I saw the one with Norman Reedus, and I was like, wait, how many spin-offs of their show are there?
Yeah,
You
from
know,
what I understand, there's
I
like
know one
9 or
got
10.
canceled. Like it's kind of hitting like Law and Order, where they're just like whack-a-mole, like they pop up. Where it's like pretty sure Fear the Walking Dead got canceled, but then they introduced two more, and I was like, oh, apparently these are still viable. They talk about
Um,
canceling the show every other week. I'm shocked it's still on TV.
but I liked I had quite an apparently
It genuinely
this
surprises me that you're like, nah, I'm gonna finish it.
apparently this series concluded in November 20th, 2022.
Really?
So yeah, considering it started in like 2011 or
Wait,
something like
wait,
that.
wait, wait, wait. The regular Walking Dead, like it's not on TV anymore.
The regular Walking Dead concluded on November 20th, 2022. It finished.
Oh, really? I did not know that. I thought it was still on
Apparently.
TV. Oh shit.
It
Oh.
premiered October 31st, 2010. And yeah, it concluded November 20th, 2022. So now there's different spin-offs and stuff which continue the story, like the one for Daryl,
I thought the one
where
with Daryl was a.
from what I read, the one for Daryl, he ends up in Paris, which is apparently where the virus starts.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. I'm guessing that it must be less a spinoff and more a sequel series then, because just
Yeah, I don't
I'm
know.
guessing maybe I don't know because yeah I don't
As for the governor was a fucking
big old rapist.
pain in the ass character who fucking would not go away and stayed for way too long. When Rick should have just put a bullet in his head when he was sitting across from the. That's kind of a thing in this show, is that like, um, and it is a recurring theme of, because Rick was a police officer
Who
and
are
was
the
a
real
good
monsters?
person, was a good person. He tends to take half measures in a
No half measures.
in a world where half measures will get you killed or worse. Um, and that's where his son, by the end, he's like all of our friends are dead because you keep trying to like pretend we live in the old world. We don't live in that world anymore. Um, and he's kind of a dick.
I said a dab, Jordan. Dab.
Yeah, I saw that. I wasn't going to address it. Um, but I mean, you say it's surprising that I'm going to finish it.
A little
I'm
bit,
like
yeah.
I'm like almost 5 seasons in.
No, I just mean,
You shouldn't be surprised. I kind of have to.
yeah, I suppose, yeah. I no, I figured you'd be like, I hated every second of it, and I want to stop as soon as humanly
Not,
possible.
no, not really. I mean, it's if I think if I think if I had to sit and just watch it,
Fair,
like if this was a have seen or a have not seen,
fair.
where like I was just focusing on it, yeah, it would probably not have passed the phone test, and I probably would have gotten a little more bored. But like to have it on and watching it while I'm playing, to have it be like a the Rookie or
Oh
the
yeah, no, fair
like
enough.
a show which I can enjoy on in the background and not feel like I'm missing, because there's a lot of scenes of them just killing zombies.
Oh
So
yeah.
like I can half pay attention
And
and it's
I've
fine.
discovered who doesn't enjoy watching people get shredded or watch zombies get shredded.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that
Except
I
for when they're
appreciate,
children. Again, cannot stress enough. Don't like it when they're kids.
One thing that I appreciate about this one, and two things before I wrap up the Walking Dead. One, they have rule like the zombies have clear cut, for lack of a better word, rules
Yeah, what they
that
want, you know.
like what they want, what they desire, how they work,
Yeah,
how they
that's
function.
one of the things I like about. One of the things as much as I've never really been into that franchise, I respect it because
Yeah.
yeah, it's very firm about how it works, and there's never any confusion about how it works, and
So like, yeah, it reanimates their brain stem and gives them just enough brain function where they have to eat.
yeah,
And when they don't eat, they get lethargic. So like they have a function of how they
yeah,
work.
and they slowly
And
break down. If they don't eat, they become the more shambly, traditional looking zombies.
yep. And if you cut off their arms and break their jaws so that they can't bite you and can't eat you, then they become basically like lethargic, like they won't do anything. And so one of the characters uses them that in that way as to hide herself from other zombies. Because when she's
Sensible,
surrounded by zombies that are like that, the other zombies just see the zombies and don't
smart,
try to go after her.
smart, smart.
But the zombies don't try to go after her because they're lethargic. The other thing that, yeah, that I appreciate about this show is it really taught me that in a zombie apocalypse, you don't want guns. You want crossbows.
Crossbows. Crossbows is the secret to success.
Because
Always crossbows.
bullets
Both be
can be
making.
used. Bullets be making noise, which in The Walking Dead attracts more zombies, but also can only be used once. A good crossbow, you retrieve that bow, that bolt,
Yep,
and it can be fired again. It
pretty
can be
much.
used again. And you can hold it in your head and use it as a hand-to-hand weapon.
Exactly.
Much more practical.
Much more
Um,
practical.
but yeah, I've been enjoying it.
Okay, my next
Maybe,
one.
maybe if I keep watching it, maybe throughout the month of October, I'll do like a short little.
Still,
This is what I've seen.
still digging the Walking Dead. My final rapid fire.
Will check in with me.
I quite like this movie actually. I was surprised and impressed by how much I like this movie. This is a movie called Fido, Canadian comedy. It takes place in an alternate 1950s where a meteor or like space dust dropped over the planet and infected people and brought the dead back to life. And there was there was a series of wars called the Zombie Wars where they fought zombies. And there's a company, I don't remember the name of it, that has created these collars that you can put on zombies, and it dulls that urge to want to eat you, and it makes them docile. That's what I was looking for. It makes them docile. Um, and so this takes place in like a community that has been gated in, and outside of the community is where like the zombie apocalypse is, and inside the community is basically the 1950s. And it's about a young boy whose mom is played by Carrie Ann Moss, and whose dad is the Kurt Connors from the Sam Raimi movies, and they are a very traditional conservative family. And it's and Bill Connolly is the zombie, and it's quite a funny movie. It's more of a satire of zombies than it is actual zombies. Like, and it's interesting to see like, so this is in this alternate version of, so part of school is they train to shoot zombies. They're taught like how to interact with zombies. And one of the things I liked about this, there's a great deal of time devoted to like at least 5-10 minutes of the movie to explaining how this world works, what its function is in it, and like yeah, like when zombies become a part of everyday life. So one of the characters he works for the company that basically keeps everyone safe, and so he's like, if you don't make nice to me, I'll shove you out into the whatever world. If you disrupt this system we have, I can just get rid of you. Um, and so the kid's zombie accidentally eats one of the neighbors, and so there's this whole like they're trying to the he's basically like a cop is trying to figure out and investigate which zombie ate the person. And Carrie Ann Moss, the ending is kind of weird. Okay, basically, his dad, the kid's dad. The plot of this is he becomes attached to this zombie, and he treats this zombie like a dog, and he names it Fido. And the movie is never about the evil corporation. The corporation is never framed as being evil. It's really more about the individual like lives of these people and how it's disrupted by this zombie eating this person. But the mechanics of the world are never questioned, which is kind of funny. Where was I going with that? So the dad is afraid of zombies because when he was a kid was when the zombie apocalypse happened. So his dad got turned into a zombie and he had to kill his own dad. So as a result, he is terrified of zombies. But Carrie Ann Moss, as the wife, it's Trinity from The Matrix, she wants a zombie because she sees it as a status symbol. It shows that without a
This
zombie,
world sounds fucked up.
without a zombie, they look poor basically. And so the movie ends with the dad getting get eaten by a zombie, getting bitten by a zombie. And one of the mechanics of this world is when you die, no one trusts old people because at any moment an old person could die and become a zombie and attack you. And until you get the collar on, they're vicious. Once you get the collar on, they're docile. And so one of the things you can pay for, if you die, the company will come up and scoop you and pop a collar on you and put you into indentured servitude. So you can pay when you die to have a heads-off funeral, where basically they'll cut your head off and you won't become a zombie and you can be dead. And so at the end of the movie, the dad dies and it's implied because the Carrie Ann Moss is pregnant. And the dad's like, well, I can't afford another kid. Like, I can't afford another funeral, basically. And it's implied that she fucked the zombie. At least that's how I read it. Like, that the baby is the zombie's baby. Because, like, at the end of the movie, she's, like, treating him like a... She has all these weird dialogues with the zombie where it seems like she has a crush on him. It's very bizarre. But, yeah, I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was clever. It was a different take on zombies. And yeah, it's a comedy. It's funny. It's quite a funny movie. And it wasn't just like we're surviving in a world without zombies. And this is not the first time where one of these movies was like, yeah, if zombies existed in the real world, probably someone would solve a problem with them, find a way to solve the problem of them that resulted in coexistence. Like that is
and capitalism.
And capitalism. Yeah, capitalism is always going to win out. And that's what's weird is that at the end of this movie, it never indicates that the corporation is bad because they're still there at the end and the system and it's not about tearing down this version of society. That's not what this movie's about. At the end of it, they're happy living in this society. They're happy having a pet zombie and the pet zombie is happy to live with this family. Like it's like a pet situation.
Happy.
Yeah, it's weird. Like it's weird. They treat him like he's a dog. It's very bizarre.
Yeah, that sounds weird.
It is, but it's funny. It's funny. It's a very funny movie. That's it. That's Fido. That's Fido.
So, okay. Now we'll move on to the have scenes. So there was an anime which will never be finished, which is kind of disappointing, which is based on a manga called High School of the Dead. And it will never... I can't get this to stay up in a way that I want to. The reason why it'll never be finished is because the series writer and creator passed away.
Oh.
And when it did, the other workers who worked on it were basically like, we should just leave this.
Yeah, that's a thing in Japan. Yeah, that's why Dragon Ball will probably never come back.
The manga itself goes a little bit further than the anime does, but the anime is only 12 episodes, and then a 13th episode, which is an OVA.
And this week we learned what an OVA is.
Yeah. Justin, why don't you tell them what that is?
It's a video that goes straight to DVD, basically, or in today's modern context, streaming.
In Japan.
In Japan, it doesn't air on television in Japan. It goes straight to DVD or streaming.
So the 13th one of this was included with the Blu-ray and DVD release, for example. So it's technically a 13th episode, but it very specifically doesn't play into the story really, to the point where at the end, they teased the second season, which never came, which is disappointing.
Oh.
Um, like the one of the characters is like, yeah, there was a tunnel. They ended up finding out that there was a tunnel which led to the island they were on. So they will still end up in the city which they were in at the end of the last episode. Don't worry, when we get to season two, that's going to be a thing. And yeah, season two never comes because the guy passed away.
Oh.
Um, but basically, the premise is what it sounds like. It's a group of high school students and one of their teachers, who are trying to survive in a world where the zombie apocalypse has happened and the moral decline of society. And so, like, one of the teachers is I mean, he's a pervert. And he ends up creating basically a cult where the students, especially the female students, worship him.
Yikes.
Um, and so this was a show that, yeah, I watched when I was like younger,
You're
the
like,
first
it's
time.
problematic.
And well, I didn't say that then, because I was more
The
closer to the age of the students. But
It's problematic.
as an adult, I mean, yeah, it's a show that has a lot of fan service.
To
So
be fair,
there's
Japan's sense of morality is different than ours.
is definitely different because yeah, there's an entire scene where the female student, like the females of the group, are all taking a bath together,
Yeah, no,
and
they
you
don't
can
have
you can
our we don't have they don't have the same type of hangups about nudity as we do.
so you can imagine. But
I am right now.
I mean, it's still a fun show. It's hard to recommend because I know there will never be a continuation of it.
Yeah, that's brutal.
Like, and it's a good show. It's enjoyable to watch. I had a fun time watching it, but you'll never, and then that's where I'm almost inclined to go and check out the manga because I know it goes on a little bit, like it goes on a bit further. It does continue the story a little bit more than the show does, but it also just doesn't have an ending. But yeah, that's High School of the Dead.
Oh right, alrighty, Roo. My first have seen is my I see. It's so hard for me to call this my favorite, but it's real close with Kubo, which we talked about. But that's Paranorman.
Oh, that's a classic.
Oh, it's so good. It got robbed at the Oscars. It should have won Best Animated Picture instead of Brave. I stand by it. It's so good. It's good because it's scary. It's good because it's emotional. It's good because it's got a bit more depth. It's allowed to curse. It's darker. Like, the characters get to swear. It's got one of my all-time favorite rug pulls at the end where the she's flirting with the brother the whole time. And he's like, yeah, my brother is gonna love, or my boyfriend's gonna love it. Turns out he's gay. I love that. That's great. They were gonna make a TV show. I found out. Dang it.
You sounded weird there for a second.
That's
Are you
because
okay?
my headphone keeps getting yanked out of my microphone. Yeah, they were gonna make go away.
You need to stop doing that. If
They
you
were gonna
don't, the zombies will come for you.
make a TV show about this, and I would totally watch a TV show about this, where it's basically the Ghost Whisperer, but with Norman from Paranorman.
Interesting.
Well, I don't know if that's what it would be, but that's what I'd watch. Where it's like, it's just like this, where he finds a ghost that's troubled, and he has to help them out, and he has to help them resolve their issues.
Actually, the witch in that is technically uh she's technically a poltergeist, not a ghost,
Whatever,
because
same difference.
because she's the way that she is, you know?
Yes, because she's an angry spirit. But yes, but have it where he has to go talk to spirits, like it's like the Ghost Whisperer. He has to go talk to people who are dead, and use his powers to help people resolve their issues and move on. Um, I like that it's so dark. Like, I like that. Not that I like that they, but the fact that they killed a little girl, like they killed a little girl, and they're just endlessly meant to walk the earth as punishment. And it gets to the end, and yeah, I like the fact that he can talk to them. That's really cool because they're technically ghosts. And like, yeah, we made a huge mistake. We were scared and stupid, and we regretted it ever since. And I was like, yeah, and I love the scene, the ending scene where he's talking to her. It's so good.
Oh,
It's
with the
so,
music,
oh my god, it's stunning.
so
The
good.
animation is beautiful and gorgeous. The writing is so good. The performances are so good. It's
Quite
easily
honestly,
one
it's
of the
better
best
than it has.
animated.
Yeah, it's better than it has any right to be.
Absolutely, and again, it got robbed at the Oscars. It is so good. Yeah, they've brought it back. They brought it back to. Do you remember how you sent me the bit of Anna Kendrick talking about the character? That's because
Yeah.
they re-released it in theaters. It was this year. It is this year
Oh, interesting.
with a new short involving the sister. Yeah,
Oh, interesting.
and I'm really hoping that that leads to a second one. Like I'm constantly I'm on edge waiting for Leica's next movie. Like
I'd I'd watch a second Paranorman.
I would absolutely watch a second Paranorman. I mean
I don't know what I would make it about,
I
but
have
I would
no
definitely
idea.
watch it.
I mean, he's helping another. Yeah, that one. That thing about that movie is, yeah, the ghost is so tied to his town. But yeah, you make it where he's helping another little person, or adult or something. Um,
Maybe one of his relatives or something.
I love the ending. I love the end where they're watching TV and the grandma and the dad at the same time. Like, what are we watching? It's so good.
Yeah, yeah,
So good.
yeah.
Such a good. Yeah, it's a hard toss up between it and Kubo. I love both of those.
Underrated.
Oh, severe. This is severely underrated. But
Personally, I think this one's better.
man, you could convince me. It's hard for me to pick. It's like this is like one of those ask me to pick my favorite child situations. But oh man, I love this movie so much. Like just if you want a solid like it's a solid scare your kids Halloween movie. Like it like that you could it would be one I'd show like a 5-year-old with the intention of scaring them a little bit.
Freaking them a little.
Yeah, yeah, just a little. Where it's like it's not super hardcore, like a Goosebumps. It's like a Goosebumps or Are You Afraid of the Dark kind of movie for me, where I'm like, make your kid. Parents, we know, let your kids watch this for Halloween. This is a solid Halloween movie that you could watch with your family. Really good
As
quality.
long as you're there to watch it with them.
Yeah, I mean it gets a bit intense, it gets a little scary, but I think the kids need to be a little scared. I
I
don't
don't know
think.
about scare. I don't know about
Oh,
scary.
it's
Scary is to me implies a different kind. Overwhelming, I would
yeah,
maybe say.
it's a bit it's got that classic
In
90s.
intense,
It's got
but
an
scary.
it's got a 90s edge where if I watched this when I was 6, I would have scared the crap out of me. Like it's got that. It is a legit scary movie, especially when the witch shows up and she's in the sky. Oh my god, like if you're
It's
a kid,
definitely intense.
if you're a kid, it is frightening and like spooky Halloween frightening. Like this is one I would show to kids at Halloween. Like this is a solid Halloween movie. If you're looking for a spooky scary time, by the way, you're floating head again.
Yeah, I'm getting tired of fixing that. It doesn't really matter.
He's a floating head.
You just need my voice.
Um, yeah, real classic movie. Go watch it. Watch with your kids. Watch it with your children. It's on
Or on your own.
or on your own. It's also a perfectly acceptable movie to watch with your own on your own. It's on Crave if you're Canadian. I don't know what it's on if you're American. I think maybe Amazon. Full
Is that
chested
it?
recommendation. That's it for
Is that
Paranorman.
it? That's it for Paranorman?
Oh
All right. My last have seen, it's going to be a real rapid fire. Shaun of the Dead, good movie. Simon Pegg, the rest. Not much to it. Classic zombie movie. It's a parody. There's a lot of,
yep.
he doesn't even realize at first what's happening. There's plenty of jokes to be had. It's very funny. Nick Frost is also in it.
It is the first of what is known as the Cornetto trilogy, which is Shaun of the Dead.
The three flavors Cornetto trilogy.
Yep, it's
Hot Fuzz.
Shaun of the Dead,
This.
Hot Fuzz, and World's End.
Yep.
And this one is again Edgar Wright, phenomenal director. Yeah, I love his like the bit where they're talking about going to the pub, where he's like, we go pick up this, we go get mom, and we do this, and they just keep them like the
Yeah,
amount of
yeah.
care that's put into shots like the scenes like that, where it's like he's such a talented visual director. His stuff is not. It's not even that it's well written and it's funny. It's just visually funny. Like there's so many visual gags. Like you say that him initially going through his day, not not even realizing that it's the zombie
Yeah,
apocalypse
that is
is
zombies.
really funny. Him and Nick Frost, man, Nick Frost. It's a shame he's dead to us now.
He, he's dead to us?
Yeah, he did Harry Potter. It means he's dead to us.
Oh, oh.
That was a
I
joke, people.
mean,
That was a
he's not.
joke.
I wouldn't say he's dead to us. I would say he's in a coma.
Okay, that's fair. That is
We
fair.
can't we can't
But
acknowledge
also,
him
it was a joke.
until we can't acknowledge him until the that Harry Potter project is dead and in the grave.
I mean, yeah.
Once that's dead, ironically enough, like a great zombie, he can rise from the dead.
After it inevitably gets canceled after one season. No, obviously, yeah, the title is obviously a parody. This is what I'm saying, where Dawn of the Dead influenced every zombie thing ever. That name is obviously a parody of Dawn of the Dead. Also, that hanging out in one location definitely came from Dawn of the Dead. Like, so much of the movie
Apparently,
is.
apparently it references Night of the Living Dead films by George A. Romero.
Yep, that's the, yeah,
A lot of them.
a lot of them. That's what it's a
But
parody of.
and it had a budget of $6 million. Justin,
So,
want to take a guess at
20
the box
million.
office?
20 million.
Ooh, somewhat close. 38.7 million.
Modest hit, because that's
You know,
the kind of movie it is.
I mean, for 2006,
It's not.
that's or
It's not.
2004 rather, that's quite a bit of money that it made.
It's not making $1 billion. It's not that kind of movie.
Um, but I don't have much more to say about this one. It was good. I liked it. I had fun. I don't think there's anything. Ooh, I can tell you some cultural references.
Cultural references.
Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Night of the Living Dead.
ASMR.
Hand-in-mouth theoretical sequel from Dusk Till Dawn was discussed by Wright and Pegg.
That's funny.
As was a parallel sequel starring Stevenson called Yvonne of the Dead.
God of the Dead. Yeah, I know that they've tried to make a sequel to this a bunch of times, but they've just never been able to make it.
A poster was made for From Dusk Till Dawn to feature in the alternate universe Times Square in the 2018 Sony Picture Marvel Comics film Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Huh.
So that almost ended up in there. He co-director of the film Rodney Rothman reached out to Wright, and that was one that was suggested. Other zombie film references include 1 to 28 Days Later, made during the ending scene when Sean and Liz are watching television, and a news report mentions the idea of a, quote, raging infected monkeys. In 28 Days Later, a rage virus was used, so that was a reference to that.
That's funny.
What else?
Oh, I meant to mention about Paranorman. Don't really consider that a zombie movie, even though it technically is. It's more of a haunting movie.
Yeah, that one's is not really a zombie movie. It's just a movie that has zombies.
Yeah, exactly.
But this one is a zombie movie, I guess. It's a parody of a zombie movie, but it's a zombie movie.
Definitely a zombie movie. Those are definitely zombies. Zombies.
Yeah, by all appearances, they seem to be.
Zombies.
They don't really explain it or tell you how they came to be, but they are a thing. That's Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun of the Dead. So
that was my last half scene.
My last half scene, Jordan, is a Bradley Pitt movie. A Bradford Pitt.
Brad Pitt?
A Braddy Pitt. It's a movie called World War Z.
Brad Pittford? Oh, that one's boring.
And yes, that just off the bat, boring. Just boring. It's everything.
I couldn't tell you much else about what happens in that movie, but I could tell you I remember it was boring.
It's just everything I can't stand about friggin' zombie shit, where it has people standing in rooms talking about stuff for most of it. It's really, really slow. But I will say that it definitely has some of the cool, like the plot and story of it is just it's just another zombie thing. But some of the visuals are kind of cool. Like a huge chunk of this involves them going to Israel for some reason. And there's a scene where there's that wall of zombies trying to climb over the wall. That's like, yeah, it's pretty cool. That looks pretty cool. There's some fun zombie kills in this that are like, yeah, it's pretty fun. But otherwise, yeah, it's not very interesting. But the part of this that I think this is one of the ones where like it mutated from rabies. This is another one like that. It's apparently based off of a book that's allegedly much better and more interesting. But the how they solve the zombie apocalypse in it, because they solved the zombie apocalypse by the end of it. Although they supposedly were going to do a sequel. I'm not really sure how, but Brad Pitt discovers that the zombies don't go for people who are sick, so they just pass over people who are sick and injured, because the pathogen that's inside them, stay with me on this, only wants healthy people. So what Brad Pitt decides to realize is that if they inject themselves with like a super contagious disease that makes you sick, then the zombies will just ignore them, and it makes the zombies easier to deal with. And so in the climax of the movie, he just kind of injects himself with a random illness, and then the zombies don't attack him. And then I think at the end of the movie they say that it's like they're like giving them like basically a version of chicken pox basically. And then it makes so the zombies don't go for you.
Did you just give me cancer, Bob?
Yes.
Yes, I did. So the zombies won't get you.
So the zombies won't get you, Bob.
But the cancer will.
But the cancer will, Bob. He's right. He's right. The cancer will.
Dick.
And yes, it's just like, it's not to say that it's not entertaining and some of the action isn't kind of fun, but yes, it is mostly dull and mostly boring and mostly forgettable, and it's the worst thing these guys. It's again everything I hate about zombie movies. It's just boring, not very interesting, and the Brad Pitt character is so flat and disinterested, and he's clearly only doing this for the money. The only good stuff he has is the stuff between his family. Other than that, it is just a boring nothing of a movie that I have nothing more to say about, because I'm just rushing us through to get to Marvel Zombies. That's it. That's World War Z.
Okay, so it's time to move on to have not seens. You've already said we're going to end with Marvel Zombies. So before we get to that,
Is that me?
we
Sorry. Oh, it's just your audio sounds all weird.
Oh, it might be because the mic fell over.
There we go. That's better.
I didn't notice that it fell over. So there's
Today we haven't had tech issues in so long that today's just the tech issue, the revenge of the tech issues.
I mean, yeah. Have you ever been sitting there, Justin, and thought to yourself, "Man, I wish there was like a Goonies style movie about the zombie apocalypse."
Absolutely.
Because that's basically what this is. It's kind of like your 80s
Nice
style movie where it's like the Goonies kind of mixed with zombies. It was a lot of fun.
It looked
I
fun.
genuinely, to the point where I kind of want to just give a loose notes version of this, because I think I'm gonna add it to your list.
All right, okay, that's solid. I'm gonna add it right now, because I will say, yeah, there was
I think I'm gonna be nice and give you a fun one.
I was in the room when it happened. No, I was in the room when you were kind of watching this, and yeah, there was a line in it where he's like, "Have you ever been in a girl's room? Your mom doesn't count. Female relatives don't count."
Yeah.
I was like, that's fine.
So Cold Notes version, without going into details, I guess I'll just talk about my feelings about this movie. Um, is Yeah, no, there is definitely, as I'm watching, it's a comedy, right? So it's meant to be funny, but as I'm watching it, there's your standard friend who is that kind of asshole friend, like the for lack of a better one to put in here, like your Stifler, but not really like your Stifler, but kind of like your Stifler.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you remember that movie Project X?
Asshole with a heart of gold.
You remember that the asshole who wanted to have the party?
Vaguely.
That's you basically have one of those in this. And the main guy is the main guy, Wade Watts from Ready Player One. Not the
Yeah, he's
character, but like
no, no,
the
no.
actor.
The character, the character Wade Watts from Ready Player One is in this movie.
Um, and otherwise, I mean, I'm not gonna lie and say it's the most creative thing in the world. Um,
No, zombie movie
it's
just has to
it's
be entertaining or
it's
like thought
yeah,
provoking.
it's
You,
pretty paint by numbers, but it works.
yeah, it's like you said, if it's all about if you're not jiving with the characters, it's not gonna do anything for you.
And I jived with the characters in this one, and I feel like you will too.
All right.
And that's my spoiler-free evaluation of this movie, which I think was on. No, I think I had to rent this one,
Did you?
so so you'll have to download it.
I'll have to download it.
I mean, you will also have
Have to
to rent
rent
it,
it.
Justin.
Okay. So my final thing, before we get to Marvel Zombies, which is what this whole week has been about, um,
Dun dun dun.
da-da-da-da-da. No, it's called Army of the Dead, and it is another Zack Snyder movie. It is his most recent zombie movie, and it is the spiritual successor to Dawn of the Dead. And this one, unlike the other one, was written by Zack Snyder, and this was the one that made me go, um, I don't think Zack Snyder is a very good writer, and I think he should stick to directing. Because this movie was fucking agonizing. In that, it was too long. It's 2.5 hours long, and it could probably be 2 hours long. It's too long. Like, the opening, it's one of those movies where, like, it really wants to get to the thrust of it, so it skips over all of the shit about the world. So it starts with there's this like convoy, this army convoy that's driving to Las Vegas, and it crashes, and this zombie gets out and infects a bunch of them, but it's like a slightly stronger kind of zombie gets out, and then it kind of montages over, I think they say it's 6 years of time, where it gets into Las Vegas and infects a bunch of people, and Las Vegas gets quarantined off, so nobody can get in and out of Las Vegas. And there's a bunch of quarantine zones like that separate people from like the main Las Vegas. And
Sorry, I'm gonna have to jump out again.
to be fair, when you got up, it started freaking
There we
out.
go.
I was like,
That's better.
it's okay. It's okay. I decided while you were up, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna cut all of this out on Spotify. So if you're listening on Spotify, you're now hearing Jordan get back. He had to go on a trip. He had to go pick up a package real quick.
Yeah, sure. Let's go with that.
He had to go pick up a package. Certainly not drop one off. So you'll hear random blank spots. Whereas if you're hanging out on YouTube, you got to watch me awkwardly sit while I waited for Jordan to get back. Because to be clear, the stream isn't the podcast. The stream is where we film the podcast. If you want to hear the podcast as it is intended to be heard, you gotta listen to it on Spotify.
So what were you talking about
What
before
was
my
I?
guts decided that I hated myself?
That you need to spill your guts. We're talking about Army of the. Let's go all the way back. Let's restart Army of the Dead.
Oh, do we
Um,
have to?
we're gonna skip back a few steps. Where was I? I was talking about Army of the Dead. It's a spiritual successor to Dawn of the Dead, the movie I talked about earlier. It made me realize that I don't think Zack Snyder's a very good writer. We'll do this in a more concise way, because this movie is agonizingly long. It basically it's two things. It's a crappy zombie movie, and it is a heist movie, and it is 2.5 hours long, and it is agonizingly long. So much of the movie is devoted to setting up this heist, when the heist is the least interesting part of the movie. The best parts of the movie are when Zack Snyder is a very talented director. He can shoot an action sequence and they look good. When they're killing zombies, it's fun. It has Dave Bautista in it. It has
Other
other
people.
people who you know. Um, the most notable thing about this movie is one of its stars, whose name doesn't matter, who plays the helicopter pilot in this, who's part of one of the crew members. He was charged with some sort of sex pest crime, and so they cut him out of the movie and replaced him with another actor.
Okay.
So all of the scenes that he was in, he is now not in, and it's now Tig Notaro instead. And every review I saw of this when this movie came out said that it is barely noticeable. They're lying. It is so noticeable. Maybe it's not noticeable if you don't know, but if you do know, like all of her dialogue, she says a step later. It's like it's very obvious she's not in the same room as them ever. Like all of her dialogue is like yeah, it goes. It's that she says her dialogue. It cuts to Dave Bautista to be like, "Oh yeah," and she says a bunch of weird non sequiturs that she clearly just said on set. But yeah, it's very obvious. Like they filmed her on a separate day. It's so distracting. It's so noticeable, and it makes all of her dialogue. There's a point where she has a conversation with Dave Bautista's stunt double or stand-in, and then it's clearly been edited later because then later on another girl has the exact same conversation about the same topic, which is about this one guy being untrustworthy. It doesn't matter again, and it's very clear like they shot the Tig Notaro stuff at a later time to fill in the fact that now she's not in the same room with them. It's really distracting. The movie opens with an agonized like they sing I can't remember the song. They sing this song and they play the whole song, like all 4 minutes of this song, and the movie starts off with them transporting this zombie, and then it does the credits and it cuts over 6 years, and it implies that all of these characters have had all of these adventures in between that opening where there's no zombies and the whole zombie thing. And so it also helps support my claim that if the zombie apocalypse were to happen to America, they would just quarantine because it happens in Las Vegas and they just quarantine Las Vegas. And this movie takes place after COVID. So at one point, Sean Spicer is on CNN and they're talking about the zombie apocalypse and they're like, oh yeah, no, they just use it as it's a political thing, you know? If they want to get rid of the immigrants or the gay people, they just say that you've got this virus and they toss you in Vegas and then you disappear. And it's now the zombie is what's interesting is the zombie apocalypse is now a COVID thing. It stands in as a yeah, and a lot of what they're saying sure sounds like COVID.
I mean, I'm not saying COVID was supposed to be a zombie apocalypse that didn't end up happening, but
But and
it was
so
created in a lab.
it was created in a lab. So we can't say that we'll get blocked off of YouTube. Um,
Oh, it was wink,
wink.
not created in a
Uh,
lab.
and
Wink.
it has everything a modern Zack Snyder movie has. It's got agonizingly long slow motion. Scenes go on forever. There's extraneous scenes that add nothing. It had this one though did have a zombie tiger, which was pretty cool. But
Winning.
the big twist with this is there's remember how you were like the super zombies. Well, it turns out that in Vegas there is a class of super zombies who rule over the regular zombies, and they're cool with you as long
With
as
a
you
rotted fist.
yeah, and they're cool with you as long as you offer them a sacrifice. If you offer them, so there's a point where they're about to go in, and the girl's like, "Yeah, we need to take this guy who's an asshole," and they're all like, "Why? This guy is an asshole," and like, just trust me, we need him. And so they get in, and she shoots him. He's like, "Oh my god, you shot me! What the fuck?" And she's like, "Yeah, we need to sacrifice you." And she's like, "I'd like to say that I feel bad about this, but I don't. I don't remotely feel bad about this." And then she tosses him to what is essentially like the zombie queen. And I would argue that at that point, once you have your faculties, they're not really a zombie anymore.
Which leads well into the next thing.
Like they're more, yeah, they're more vampire than they are zombie at that point, right?
I don't know if they're vampires, but they're definitely not zombies.
Right? They're not ghouls,
The point of a
maybe.
zombie is ghoul. I could see ghoul.
Yeah, that does
But
lead nicely into the next thing. You're right. It does.
zombie is supposed to be mindless. That's the point of a
It
zombie.
it's not as good as Dawn of the Dead. Dawn of the Dead is way better. It's way more restrained. It's a way better movie. It's not to say that this was bad. I will say, remember, you're gonna think this is a weird comparison. You remember when that Dave Bautista movie came out where he was with a little girl, and you said this feels like it's 5 years too late, and it was supposed to have The Rock in it.
I vaguely remember that. Yeah, yeah.
Every time that trailer came up, you're like, this feels. I just remember every time you made the same joke. You're like, this feels like this should have The Rock in it, and it was funny every time. This movie is like that. He feels like he was supposed to be The Rock. Like it feels like Zack Snyder wanted The Rock and had to settle for Dave Bautista, and Dave Bautista is just The Rock. I don't know
I
if
mean,
that's insulting or not, but it's just he is. He's like post Fast and Furious The Rock in this movie.
he's B grade Rock. You can't get the Rock, so you get him instead.
Also, for some reason, Netflix and Zack Snyder desperately wanted to have some kind of a franchise because he tried to make this a thing. There's a prequel that has nothing to do with zombies. There's a character in this movie who's like a eccentric German safecracker. And there's a movie that came out after this that's a prequel, which it's about him that contains no zombies. That sets up how he showed up in this movie. And apparently,
Why would I want to watch a zombie movie without
without zombies,
zombies?
yeah, exactly. It's this and the other bad movie he made, the Star Wars one, where they were like they thought for sure that people were gonna like this and they were gonna make like a bunch of spin-offs and this was gonna be a massive franchise. And yeah, I don't know. Zombie media just isn't as present as it was. Like when Walking Dead was at its most popular, you couldn't throw a stone without hitting a zombie thing. And I think that movie just was like people were getting tired of zombies. But
Over oversaturated the market.
I think so. But that moves nicely. That's it. That's Army of the Dead. It was bad. Let's talk about Marvel Zombies. That's what the people came here to talk about.
Which I okay. So I've never read the original comic book run, and I don't know much about
This
it.
is nothing like it.
Um,
Just
but what I was gonna say, I don't understand. So Wanda seems to be like, which I in the What If episode, she was like a monster, like she was
yes,
zombie. She didn't
yes,
have her faculties.
yes,
In this, she seems to.
yes. There's a line of
I
dialogue
don't
where
I
she's
don't understand what her end goal is.
no. That's it. Okay, okay. Where do we begin with this?
I
Number
know what
one,
she's I know what she says her end goal
but
is, but I
yeah,
don't
yes, that is a criticism I have of the ending of this show. Um, Number one, yes, it's nothing. The big thing in the Marvel Zombies comic is they gain I think it's like the intelligence and the abilities of whose ever brain they eat. So at a certain point, they eat. I want to say it's either Galactus or
Silver Surfer.
Silver Surfer. They eat their brains, and they all gain the power cosmic, and they all travel the universe, eating the brains of the entire Marvel universe. So that's
Well,
that's what
I
ended up
mean,
happening in the comic. I'm pretty
it
sure I might have messed that up, but I'm pretty sure that's what it
this
is.
this feels like they were like they're heading in that direction.
It's not as far
Be-
off as you would think, but it's not exactly the
because
same.
like the Nova people are quarantining the planet, so like yeah, it feels like if there's a second half where we get four more, it feels like in that second half Wanda gets the power of the stones, breaks quarantine, and then they go after the rest of the galaxy.
Maybe,
So
yeah.
it doesn't feel like them going after the galaxy
Um,
is that unlike, but I just don't get. So
okay? Do we do the? First of all, do we? We're not
I
gonna do a
don't get
plot.
what
We're not
her
gonna do a plot by plot breakdown of this thing. We might touch on the plot a little bit here and there, but this is mostly gonna be general thoughts. I think is what it's gonna end up being, questioning the mechanics of this. Number one, this is definite, and we know this. This was a news story I had that I cut one time, but this was gonna be a movie For years, this was going to be a movie, and the only reason it's a show is so they could use Spider-Man.
Interesting.
That's the only reason why it's a show. It has the same pacing as a movie. It plays like a movie. I pretty much watched it as a movie.
Yeah, I watched it all at once.
The number one thing about this is that's very apparent is that animation takes a while. Number two things. It's the same thing we said about What If. Animation takes a while, and they clearly thought a Blade movie was going to be out by now.
They also just thought that the Phase 6 characters were going to be far more well received.
Phase 4, but whatever.
Because mm, this says Phase. This says what phase does
I think
this
someone
phase?
pointed out that
Anyway.
technically the Shang-Chi characters are Phase 3, but whatever. It doesn't matter. Those numbers are meaningless. But yes.
Yeah, no, this says it's part of a Phase 6 of the MCU.
Then that tells me that those phases are ultimately meaningless. No, but the characters that like Shang-Chi and Miss Marvel, I believe, were introduced in Phase 4. But regardless, it doesn't matter. You've already said it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Anyways,
it thought those characters would be more popular than they are, is the point.
Yeah, and they're not, because I didn't know who two of the girl characters were.
Really?
I knew that. I obviously knew that the one that used the
phone. Yeah, you would know Riri Williams.
I knew that she was girl Hawkeye.
Yeah.
But like I don't know who she is as a character. No. She hasn't been in anything.
That's the thing, is this show does that thing where it's like they just skips over a bunch of shit and they're just best friends without doing any of the legwork to make them best friends.
And then there was the African American girl who I thought was Captain Marvel's best friend.
Oh, I see why you would think that.
Like I had no idea who she was. That's who I thought she was at first until I read this Wikipedia article where I found out that she was the girl Iron Man, and I was like, oh, okay. Wouldn't have got that.
It assumes so many of the characters from that portion of the MCU. It assumed, because obviously when they made it several years beforehand. They assumed that those movies and shows were going to be more popular than they were. Because the guy, did you get that Captain Marvel was fighting the guy from the Eternals?
No.
When they're endlessly fighting, I had no idea that she was fighting him. I had no idea who he was. And it's the same thing when Namor shows up in like the third episode and just decimates half the cast. And I'm like,
I only recognize Namor.
Is Namor bulletproof?
I recognize him from like comics and stuff. Was he in a movie?
Yeah, he's the bad guy in the second Black Panther movie, which we've definitely seen.
Okay, I'll take your word on that one. That just kind of proves the point that movie is entirely
That's
forgettable.
what I'm saying, though. This show is it does a bit where he swoops in and starts murdering everyone, and the show does that thing where it wants you to be like, oh my god, the Submariner is murdering all these people, but I didn't really know who he was. So when they were shooting him, I'm like, wait, was he bulletproof in that movie? Like, it clearly anticipated that character either coming back in something or them doing something else with that character. Also, apparently he's a sex pest, or he did some sex crime, so like he's apparently a bad dude or something, so that's why he's never come back. But they didn't know that when they animated the show. And like
and so my thing also with this is like in the comics, each of the zombie characters is like autonomous and has their own thoughts and stuff. In this, they're all being animated by Wanda?
No, well, to be fair, that's what makes another thing that makes the show frustrating is their insistence that this was not connected to that episode of What If, even though it's very deliberately a sequel to that episode of What If.
I mean, if
you haven't watched that episode of What If, you're screwed, because there's so many details the show doesn't explain. So like, I didn't rewatch it, but I watched a thing that basically gave a recap of it, and the zombie virus came from the quantum realm?
No, I don't remember.
Basically, when they rescued, the point of Divergence was when they rescued what's her face, the Wasp's mom from the quantum realm. She brought back the zombie virus with her, and she bit whatever. And the reason why, remember the point at the beginning where Captain America, they throw half of Captain America? That's because he got cut in half in the episode, the What If episode.
Sure, but I'm saying in this episode they seem to be. This show, they seem to be controlled by Wanda.
No, well, not all of the zombies are controlled. I think she can control the zombies, but
isn't that why they have Isn't that why they have the red eyes? Is because she's using her powers to
The
control them?
ones that have red eyes she controls, but she at least as of the original one, she doesn't control all of them. No, she just controls. Well, I think at this point she controls all of them because she has the power to by the end of it. But like, no, she doesn't create. This is still the same universe as that episode of What If. So no, she didn't
Because
create the zombies. No,
no. But I more meant like she's controlling them in this.
no.
And so well, she is.
She's controlling certain
Um,
ones.
she seems to be controlling them all.
Yeah,
Um,
the point of this is that she's building up an army of ones that she can control. But again, I don't think she controls, like, she controls most of the superhero
my
ones.
my
Is the
my
point though?
question is more just why?
But
Like
that's the
what's
thing is her
because she
motivations
seems
are
to
murky. They're so
she
murky,
seems to be like human levels of consciousness. Like she
right?
seems to be aware of what's going on. So is she genuine? Is she trying
The show
to
can't
restore
decide.
people?
It flips on a moment
Or
where it's not made well enough for like where you're like, wait, like, is she telling the truth? And the ending, we're gonna get to the ending, but the ending is bad. The ending is bad. It's a bad
there
ending.
is no ending, it just stops.
It's a bad. Of course, I don't know. It depends on who you talk to. Whether or not it's supposed to be the ending or not. But this made me realize I hate time skips. I hate time skips because that second episode is brutal. It's brutal. It starts off with you're at the start of it, and then it cuts to 6 years later, and there's no what's the word I'm looking for? There's no development. So friends are just friends. Relationships are just there. So like it cuts to what's his face? Shang-Chi gets the rings and then it does hard cut and then just what's her face can just use the rings because I'm guessing in the script for Shang-Chi 2 that the people who made this show had clearly seen. There's clearly more with that character that we haven't seen, but from my perspective it's just like, wait, how come she could just use the rings? Like, how do the rings work? But there was clearly,
Aquafina's character, you
yeah,
mean?
yeah. She could just use the rings. There's no explanation given to how she can use the rings. There's no like she can just use them. She just can expertly use them. There's no time devoted to her learning because there's no time
Yeah.
to.
My big problem, one of my big problems with this show, um,
It suffers from all of Marvel Television's problem where it's too short.
yes. I mean, okay, yes. Ignoring all of the standard problems that these shows have, specifically to this show, the biggest problem that it has, in my opinion, is it needs to pick a main character.
Yes.
Who's your character?
Well, I
And then
don't
follow
100% agree with that
and then
because
follow well, even if it's like the three main or the four main, you need to pick who your group is and stick with them because
oh no, that's fair.
they spend like part of like two episodes following Captain Kamala Khan and Girl Iron Man and Girl Bow, and like we follow them, and then it cuts and we're all of a sudden we're Spider-Man and Ant-Man and we're with the
Right,
people,
yeah, and it's a
and it's
sequel
like
to the episode of the show.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So
exactly.
it's
And
like
then they just
if you're gonna
disappear.
make it if you're gonna make it about Kamala Khan and them and they're gonna be the focus, you need to stay with them.
Right,
Follow
I
them.
completely
That it's
agree.
their story.
I completely
If you
agree.
want it to be about Spider-Man and Captain
Ant Man,
Ant-Man,
head Ant
um
Man, well, more Ant Man's head and
Ant-Man's
Doctor Strange's
head,
cape.
Spider-Man. If you want to follow them and have it be a buddy thing with those two,
Right,
which would have been a very fun show.
I
Like
completely
that would have
agree.
been great. But then you need to focus on them. That's the main problem with this is it's the tale of two shows, and that has everything to do with the fact that they've tied it to the what if thing.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
they wanted to not be the what if thing, then they needed to not have those characters and just follow Kamala Khan in them.
Well, that's yeah. No, it's even not even that. It just like okay. There's a lot of good shit on this show. Like Red Guardian, David Harbour, as always,
Oh,
fucking
they're fun. Like they're
phenomenal.
you can tell he's having a blast.
He puts like there's so many times where I'm like, man, it's a shame this is an animated show because when he loses Yelena,
Hmm.
it's heartbreaking. It's heart wrenching. Like, okay, well, we're gonna sandwich some positives in here and to say that the fact that characters can go at any moment, no one's safe. Anyone can die at any time. It's random. It's bloody. It is so violent. It is amazingly violent. Like it's like I said when we talked about the trailer. I won't lie to you and say it's not sick when Spider-Man pulls off 5 zombies' heads with a bunch of spider webs. It is awesome. And yeah, there's some sick when Submariner comes in and just rips Zemo in half. Like it's sick.
Oh,
It
it's
is
violent.
awesome. It is
It's gloriously
badass.
violent.
It is
But
gloriously
like
violent.
the glorious violence is, only so good. You need to have decent storytelling with
Um,
it. And what makes this show frustrating for me is I see the skeleton of a really great show,
oh,
a
for
really
sure.
great like
Honestly, I saw the skeleton
12,
of a much
12,
better movie.
12 episodes, like longer show. I see the skeleton of it, or movie. It could be a decent movie too. But
There's
point being, I see the bones of something better than what we got,
there's too much convenient
which
shit
is
that happens for the sake
really
of the
the
fact that
summary of
it's.
all of these
I mean,
things.
yes, it would have been a better movie, but no, there's too many. The thing
I don't
about
know that I agree with that.
would have been a better movie. Um,
I don't know that I agree with that.
the main problem with this is so much of it needs to happen quickly. So like yeah, the first episode is entirely about Kamala Khan and them, and then out of nowhere the second episode is about Shang-Chi and them, and then just conveniently they run into each other at that was the raft, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, they just conveniently run into each other at the raft and without any real establishment are best friends because we know these characters and we just assume that these characters would be friends, but the show never and the MCU generally never does the work to actually make them friends. They just show up and pretend like they've been friends the whole time. But it's like, but no, you've never otherwise had a conversation with these characters. Um, Infinity Hulk. Oh yeah, okay, we're gonna spoil the shit out of this. It turns out that
Spoiler warning. Spoiler warning.
big old spoiler warning, big old spoiler warning, big old spoiler warning. I already said too much, but they do the sequel. There's a lot of continuity problems with this show. They want to be like, oh, X thing didn't happen because the snap didn't happen, but like for example, someone's like, oh, Peter is older. He's an adult in this show because he didn't get his growth didn't get stunted by being put through the snap. Although no, I guess it is 6 years later. So no, yeah, I guess it would be. Yeah, we would be in it. Never mind. But it's stuff like why isn't and I couldn't remember. This is where it being connected to that episode of the show is frustrating because like yeah, at a point Wasp shows up and it's like a giant zombie and Ant-Man's like Janet, and you're like, what? And if you didn't watch the show, you'd be like, why is he having this emotional? Or if you didn't watch the What If, you'd be like, why is he having this emotional reaction? Or like, why is Captain America zombie cut in half? Or like, none of this stuff is like explained. And it's like, if you're gonna be a sequel to that show, be a sequel to that show. Like, don't pretend like you're not. Anyway, it turns out that in this universe, they did the Thanos shows up at Wakanda thing. But in this universe, for some reason, and I don't remember if they explain it in the original What If show why Thanos is a zombie, but Thanos is a zombie, and there's a big fight between zombie Thanos and various members of the Avengers, and I think it's Black Panther beats him, and because it was around
Black
the time,
Panther pushes him into like the thing full of vibranium or whatever, and it
you're
causes a
right.
huge explosion with the Infinity Stones, and then Infinity Hulk is created.
And they it was at that point where they weren't gonna recast Chadwick Boseman yet, so Black Panther doesn't talk. But yeah, that sequence is really cool. That whole fight with Spider-Man throwing the fucking Mjolnir with good. When Thor is phenomenal. When he's fighting zombie Scarlet Witch, thank you. It basically just becomes a Dragon Ball fight. It's sick. It's really cool. And it's Ragnarok Thor. But anyways, yeah, it turns out that they create this big whatever chaos energy thing. In order to contain the energy, Hulk has to jump in, or Bruce Banner jumps in, because Bruce Banner always winds up as a weird version of the Hulk in these What If stories. But he jumps in, and it becomes the strongest version of the Hulk in existence, Infinity Hulk. And when Infinity Hulk shows up in the army of zombies, and it's Infinity Hulk fighting the army of zombies, that is probably some of the sickest shit in Marvel ever.
I mean, it's pretty dope.
Like, it is dope as hell. It's super fluid. The animates, like, they saved all the money for Infinity Hulk because it looks good. It is worth it. It is worth the entire show is worth it just for the shit with Infinity Hulk. Like, it is legit good. I saw someone say their theory is that Marvel did it as an apology to Hulk to make him cool again. Um, it is super super cool. But now we got to talk about the ending. So yeah, Wanda's motivations in this are confusing, and it's unclear as to, like, you know how, like, when you
She
watch
needs
it,
Kamala for some
she needs
reason.
Kamala for some reason, but it's not explained why. And like, she okay, the thing about a bad guy in a movie, right? The thing about Wanda that's frustrating is she was a good guy at one point. So when she shows up, you're never quite sure what her motivations are. It's not like other things where when the bad guy shows up and he's trying to convince the good guy to side with him, it's really obvious that they're the bad guy. With
Yeah.
Wanda, again, I think it's doing that. It's doing a similar thing with Wanda, where it's assuming that Multiverse of Madness was more popular and that people would be more attached or familiar with evil Wanda. Like, I think they thought that evil Wanda was going to be more of a thing. So I think you're not meant to trust her. I think she's meant to be untrustworthy, but Kamala on face value has no reason not to trust her. Like, up until that point in the Marvel universe, Wanda's a good guy, and she's telling you, hey, apart from turning people into zombies, she's like, I need to turn people into zombies to get the Infinity Stones so I can fix everything, right? Like, she has no reason really not to trust her, other than she's turning people into zombies. But if it's for an altruistic reason, and if she fixes everyone and makes them not
She does.
zombies,
She definitely had. There's enough plausible doubt there where it's like, okay, you could believe that you would want to at least hear her out.
right? Exactly. Well, okay, yeah, exactly. Oh, she's gonna be like, I don't trust you, but she has no reason not to at least hear her out.
Well,
And,
yeah, she has reason not to,
I
but
mean,
she also has reason to hear her out. So
exactly.
like there's enough doubt there where you should at least have a moment of like, wow, okay, maybe we should listen to her.
Right, right. But then, okay, so then, yeah, there's a big thing where she gets the Infinity Stones. She's like, I need you, Kamala, and Kamala touches her. Also, there's a lot of sick usage of Kamala's powers. If I was a fan of Kamala, I probably wouldn't care for it too much.
I thought she had stretchy powers.
She does have stretchy powers, but in her show, it's energy based powers. You've seen all of these things. You know what her powers are.
It's been a while. It's been a while.
She has stretchy powers in the comics. In this, she has energy powers, which she can use to create stretchy powers, but she creates energy constructs.
Right. I forgot about that.
And there is some excellent usage of it in this, where she's just tearing apart zombies. There's some really excellent usage of her powers in this that are really fun and creative. Um, I also wasn't bothered by the graphic violence in the MCU. I don't know why I wasn't really all that bothered by it. I know I feel like I should be,
Because it's not the MCU.
but
It's
anyway,
just
sorry. The ending got
it's
distracted.
the
The
MZU.
MC, yeah, I
The
like it.
Marvel Zombie
I like
Universe.
it. Anyway, so yeah, Wanda's like, trust me, Kamala, I need your help, whatever. And there's a big energy blast, and you're like, well, it's Wanda. Like, if you know anything about Scarlet Witch, she's like, she says something and everything, big energy beam. You're like, okay, this is House of M, right? Like Wanda is capable of fixing the world. Like, she's capable
Yeah.
of it. And so you cut, and she's now best friends with Kamala, or not Kamala, Riri and Kate show up, and they're gonna go have lunch, and they're best friends. And I'm like, okay, this is
And everything is
everything
normal
is
and
normal, and I'm like, oh, is this how they're gonna soft explain when they eventually do Young Avengers and Kate Bishop, Riri Williams, and Kamala are all best friends? This is how they're gonna explain that, and there's not gonna be any effort putting into establishing their relationship. And then Riri shows up and is like, it's all fake, and then it ends. And you're like, what? Feels like
what do you
there's
mean
like
it's
one.
all fake?
There's like one. This feels like the like again. This suffers from the same thing every single fucking one of these shows suffers from, where it just starts to get interesting in the second to last episode, and it hits the last episode, and you're like, there's only one episode left, and there's no possible way they could possibly resolve this in the way that's ultimately going to be satisfying, and then it doesn't. And from what I read, well, no, I think Marvel has said there's definitely probably going to be a second season for this. I wouldn't be surprised if it turned out that there was another 4 episodes and this was originally 8 episodes, and you
Yeah,
watch it and you're like, this was clearly originally 8 episodes long, and they're
yeah.
like, it's coming out next year, because King of the Hill, we didn't talk about the story on the show, but King of the Hill did the same thing where they announced like 3 weeks after the first season came out that a second season was coming out next year. And if you know anything about animation, which Jordan does, you know, Jordan, that's
Not how animation works.
not possible. You can't get animation out in a year unless you really half-ass it. That's not how
Or if it's
animation
very
works.
cheap.
Or if it's very cheap. So if you have a show ready to go next year, that means that was originally what. So don't be surprised if next year they're like, Marvel Zombies coming out next year, and it's the second half of this one season. I guarantee you. Or I saw some people imply that it's meant to be ambiguous. Did she fix the world or did she not fix the world? And is that just the residual effect of Wanda's whatever, and maybe things are normal, and like I've seen
And
interpreted
she has
or
PTSD.
something, or yeah, like I've seen multiple theories that maybe it's meant to be ambiguous, and I'm like, God, I hope not, because ambiguous endings also suck. But once again, I'm gonna say this again. There is no such thing as an acceptable cliffhanger. Right?
Yeah,
Right? Okay,
yeah.
good. You're not disagreeing with me. All cliffhangers are bad. There is no such thing as a good cliffhanger. Every single one is bad. None of them are good. They are lazy writing and lazy storytelling, and they're just the symptom of someone who cannot finish a story. There is no such thing as a good cliffhanger.
Now, that being said, it would be kind of cool if there's like a big battle scene or whatever, or there's a big scene in Infinity War, and Robert Downey Doom opens a portal, and the MZU opens up, and they all come flooding out, and you just see a bunch in real life.
That would be pretty
You
sick.
see, you see a bunch of the zombie Avengers and all the zombie people come flooding through, and then like that's the army that they have to fight.
But like again, this was
Just
sick.
saying,
This was
just
sick.
saying,
Like I enjoyed this. Like
that
I
would
feel
be
like I've
pretty
been really
dope.
negative, and everything negative about this show is just the stuff that's generally negative about the way they make television. And it's agonizing about the way they make television. But the content of the show itself is quite good. Like I full chest
That's where I
recommend
say,
if you're
that's
like an
where I
adult,
say,
don't show it to the kids. But if you're an adult, it's Kamala
that's
Khan
where I
is
say,
the highlight of everything she's in.
I definitely see the skeleton of a better show,
I don't
but
disagree.
in terms of what we got, it's pretty good, and yeah, of the girl squad, Kamala Khan is the only good one.
I kind of realized I will watch 1,000 things with Kamala Khan in it. I love her every time she shows her and Shang-Chi. It's really disappointing they didn't do anything with Shang-Chi. But this show definitely
Haven't done
expected him
anything, haven't done anything with Shang-Chi so
so
far.
far. This show very much expected him to be a way more popular character than he was. Maybe if not for the pandemic, maybe he would have been. Who's to say? But yeah, Kamala Khan is a delight. Yeah, when again, spoiler alert, but when Kate Bishop in the first episode just gets vaporized, and you're like, oh, whoa, okay, it's gonna be that kind of show. Like when characters just out of the blue just get sliced in half, and you're like, oh, okay, no, yeah, that one's not making it to the end. Cool, yeah, no, that's brutal. That's a brutal death.
Also, um, ever since I listened to that one Moon Knight book where Moon Knight plays host to or Mark Spector plays host to Venom, I've kind of become kind of a Moon Knight not fan necessarily, but I'm kind of digging stuff with him in it. So
That's another thing. Yeah,
I enjoyed seeing Khonshu in this.
if you don't know who Blade is, you're fucked. Because at one point
That
you're
is
like, wait,
really
he's a vampire? What do you mean he drinks blood? Because they said, oh yeah, he drinks blood, and I went, oh yeah, right, he's Blade, right.
yeah,
I
yep,
kept
yep, yep, yep.
forgetting he was Blade.
He's not Moon Knight, he's Blade.
Right, he's technically Blade Knight is what is technical.
Whatever.
Yeah, he's
Like I'm
technically
like I'm
Blade.
gonna take the time to remember a character who's never gonna show up
But
again.
yeah, it's like clearly they thought that Moon Knight was gonna That's just the biggest thing with with the anime stuff. Like the only reason why I keep saying that is because I keep seeing frustrating posts of being like, why is Shang-Chi such a major character in the show? Or why is Miss Marvel such a major character in the show? And I'm like, because animation takes a while. That's
And
why.
they were gearing up for them to be.
Yeah, yeah. The MCU clearly thought they were going to be in a much different place, and this is just salvaged from what was definitely season 4 of What If. I guarantee you. I guarantee you.
Sure comes across that way.
It
Considering
absolutely reads that way.
considering it literally continues the story from What If.
Exactly.
It feels
Exactly.
like they were gearing up to, like, I don't know, do like longer episodes. So like having 4 episodes, and then having like 4 episodes of Captain Carter, and then having like
Maybe,
feels
yeah.
like it feels like they were gearing up to have more episodes per season,
Because
and
I
then they got
mean,
canceled.
very much when we talked about What If, we said all of these episodes suck because they're too short, and if you had 1 or 2 episodes you were devoted to this, it would be much better. Turns out, we're right. Like
Right?
I did not care for that Marvel Zombies episode, but this was way better. This was a
So
thousand
like
times better than
like
that.
here's what I'll say. The one episode of Marvel Zombies in the What If show wasn't enough. This isn't enough either because it's trying to be its own show. But if this was in What If as a
Yes.
series of episodes, it would be fine.
Well, I see. I don't know because I feel like if this was in what, but it would depend because like if like on streaming as the way it was, no, I'd be like, oh my god, I'm tired of the zombies. I want to get on to the next thing. But like if this were a regular television show, yeah, absolutely. Because you're
I
coming
think
back to.
I think it would work. It
I'm
would
not saying it
work.
wouldn't work. It just wouldn't work for me. This is one of those
That's
times where
fair.
it just wouldn't work for
That
me.
that's fair. Like I would do it where it's like, yeah, you not every episode is Marvel Zombie, but you can have these 4 episodes
Yeah.
spread among a
Spread out
season.
amongst other episodes. Yeah, yeah, it keeps cutting back to them. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That would be interesting. But it
And
would be
like
too dense for me to be 4 episodes in a row.
and
I'd be
then
like,
that
okay,
way
let's get through
you can
this.
have other storylines which also continue in more of a continuing thing. And then you can also just have, like, there's the occasional singular episode which doesn't continue,
My
right?
theory is
Like
also that this
that's
is
the frustrating thing with that show is it could have been better.
my soft theory is that because when that show ended, they were very much like they're like, is this we could come back? I think that we're gonna see other shows like this if this is successful. Like they'll do because we said that What If show just felt like it was like they were just it was spin off city. It was about what they could spin off from that, and we were
Oh, I mean,
they
what if should have been all the things that they could never get away with on the big screen, but you can use this experimental space to do
like
experimental weird
I'm
things.
sure somewhere that a Captain Carter show like came up. Like I'm sure like if that character was more well liked, they're probably
Because, like, for example, they can't do a whole bunch of Spider-Man movies, but they have the rights to do them in TV shows. They could have done a whole bunch of what ifs
I know
for
not
Spider-Man.
not enough Spider-Man what ifs.
You could have had an Andrew Garfield one. You could have had a Tobey Maguire one. You could have. I mean, maybe there's some contractual reason for why they
I'm
can't,
pretty sure there
but
is. Yeah. The reason why the only reason again the reason why this is a show, yeah, is because they can only do Spider-Man on TV.
no. But I'm saying you could have had them in What If
Yeah, I don't know.
as a TV.
They seemed really
You could have
resident
not
to
called them. You could have
reticent.
not necessarily called them the movie versions, but you could have had the voice actors come in and voice a
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
yeah. They didn't want to do that though. I think Spider-Man only ends up showing in like one in this zombie What If episode.
But
Otherwise,
yeah, it's
it's
frustrating.
frustrating waste of potential. But yeah, this was pretty
Like,
good.
yeah,
That's to sum up. This was pretty good.
pretty okay, not long enough.
No, no, but they're all
Even
like
like
that. They're all like that.
even like 1 or 2 more episodes to round out the story.
Right.
Again, I'm going under the assumption that this is it, so
Yeah, same.
I'm talking
If
about
this
it
is
on
it, it's
that
a bad
basis.
ending. It's a bad
Yeah.
ending. It's a bad. I don't like. Again, it's too open ended to be ambiguous. Like people are saying, oh, it's meant to be ambiguous, but no, no. That's a lazy man's excuse for a bad cliffhanger ending.
Yep. Yep.
That's it. That's
I think that.
zombies. Jordan had
Rawr.
to go off and zombie his way midway through.
Oh,
It was a rough show, but hey, you know what? It's been a while since we had a show that was really rough. So he keeps us
Which
on our
was
toes.
which was a little shitty.
There's a little I see what you did there. Next week, still spooky of the moment. Still spooky.
Ooh.
Spooky Jordan. Spooky Jordan's here. This was not a very spooky episode.
Ooh.
Would you say this was a overall spooky episode? It wasn't very spooky.
Yeah, no, no, not
So
spookiness.
next week,
It's
Jordan, we
about
need to get spookier. We need to do the mash. We need to do the monster mash.
it was the mash.
The monster
It
mash.
was the monster
It's a graveyard
mash.
smash. Next week,
It
Jordan,
was a graveyard
we're gonna
smash.
do movies and television shows and whatever's that contains monsters that might show up at the monster mash. So I'm talking Frankenstein. I'm talking the werewolf. I'm talking the mummy.
Ghosts.
I'm talking the creature from the Black Lagoon. I'm talking maybe ghosts. Maybe ghosts are in there
Ghosts.
too.
Ghosts, ghouls, and everything creepy.
Ghost schools and everything creepy. And that's next week. We're gonna do the mash.
Ooh.
We're gonna do the monster mash. That's next week. Jordan.
Ooh.
Jordan.
Justin. Justin.
Where can the people find you?
I do Minecraft Monday on my Twitch at Gore187. Don't ask for the tour. And I'm otherwise here doing this
Otherwise,
with you.
engaged. When you're not randomly leaving midway through the show.
You know what? Sometimes things happen.
Sometimes nature calls and you need to answer. You can find me on TikTok.
Sometimes things happen.
You can find me on TikTok. I'm at It's Justin's Business at. That's the email of the show. You can email the show. It's justinsbusiness@gmail.com. If you want to chat, if you just want to talk, you can email us there. You can, if you want to sponsor the show, if you want to be on the show, that's a good place to talk to me. You can
No dick pics.
No dick pics. You can follow the show on TikTok. It's the Spur of the Moment P. You can follow me on TikTok. I'm Justin Spurr. You can subscribe to the Patreon, so you could join the Discord. If you want to see last week's episode, you click the box on the left. That's going to pop up at some point. It's going to take you to last week's episode, which was, I don't remember what last week's episode was, but that's going to take you there. Or if you want to see a random video that YouTube thinks you're going to enjoy, click the box on the right. Jordan, what should the people do if they haven't already?
They should go check out that link and help the animals. Think of the animals.
I mean,
Won't someone think of the animals?
I mean, Jordan, I was thinking, what could the people do for us to help us out here?
I mean, they could buy us a coffee. They could subscribe. They could
Jordan,
go to our Patreon and
Jordan,
feed us pennies.
If people subscribe, how much content do they get every single week if they subscribe?
I mean, you get something every day.
6
That's more
videos.
That's more than some places where you get like nothing per day.
You
get at least one thing per day.
You get one thing. You're getting a video every single day. Look forward all next week. A slew of zombie videos, a Marvel zombie review coming out probably tomorrow. We got videos every single day. We have a new podcast on Sunday. We have shorts every single day. There's always new content. If you hit subscribe, you can get a buffet of nom 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 content. Nom nom content. Or if you don't want to subscribe, you could leave us a like. If you just hit like, that seriously, it helps like a ton. But that's it. That's this week. That's zombies. That's it. That's the end of the show. Have a good week, everybody. We'll see you next week.